tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people. We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9834. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9834. That's 800-575-9834. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Watching into buildings for the first time after the shooting was troubling, but it had to be preserved.
In response to the Pulse nightclub shooting that affected the LGBTQ community, Barbara Poma, owner of Pulse, founded the One Pulse Foundation to honor Pulse victims and survivors.
If you're an ally of this community, speak out. There are more of us together than apart. It is the power of love in its rawest form.
Join the fight for LGBTQ acceptance. Learn how at lovehasnolabels.com. Brought to you by Love Has No Labels and the Ad Council.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call, so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Losing weight shouldn't be a struggle, and with Jumpstart MD, it doesn't have to be. Start today for just $99 when you join Jumpstart MD's medically supervised weight loss program today. Licensed clinicians create personalized plans, including GLP-1 medications. No insurance? No problem. Jumpstart MD has options to meet your individual needs. With 13 Bay Area locations and online visits, expert support is always within reach. Call 855-JUMPSTART or visit jumpstartmd.com to start transforming your health today.
Celebrating 40 years with extraordinary rewards. Since our humble beginnings, we've believed in setting the standard for luxury, entertainment, and hospitality. This year, we invite you to be part of a defining moment in our story. Join us as we celebrate 4 decades of excellence and experience the unparalleled luxury that has made us a legend. Indulge in the extraordinary. Be part of our legacy. Cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort.
Want to interact with the hosts but can't call? Text the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line at 888-957-9570. Boxer and Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
Don't waste time trying to get rid of your old or broken car. Cars for Kids is the easiest and fastest way to donate your car and get a tax deduction. Go to carsforkids.org today. That's cars with a K.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In San Francisco, cloudy skies with a high of 70.
Weather brought to you by Staples. Have you heard? The Staples Easy button is back with even more easy. Press it for custom prints, shipping services, even passport photos. Staples. That was easy.
It's time to wake on up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. With a nice cup of Joe.
What's up, Joe, bro?
Featuring Joe Spadoni.
He's an Italian.
And Joe, the Butcher Boy Shasky.
I am slippery.
Oh! The best part of waking up is morning roast in your cup.
It is the Morning Roast, man, on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, my God. There is so much happening in the Bay Area when it comes to our sports. We've got Niners coming off their first loss of the season.
Oh, my God.
Short turnaround against your division rival, Los Angeles Rams, Thursday at SoFi Stadium. Will Brock play? Will he not? Will Ricky Pearsall play? Will he not? A lot of question marks there.
Possibly.
We got the Giants looking for a new manager after they dismiss Bob Melvin after 2 seasons, 81 and 81 season. The definition of mid.
Oh, my God.
And you got the Golden State Warriors at Media Day yesterday, and the talk of the town was about who? Jonathan Kuminga. Because that's what
I'm not
want.
optimistic.
But beside all of that, we're going to start somewhere else. Joe Shasky gets his first fantasy win in our league. Let's go! Shasky's on the board! Yeah! Congratulations, Joe.
So I beat Mark Willard?
Oh, you did? Wait. And this can't be right. I can't be reading this right. No. No, Mark is the only winless team? No.
If he spent a little bit of time working on his roster and not bending over backwards to defend Brock Purdy's every single living breath, maybe his team would be a little better.
Next question.
Wow.
Love you, Mark. I had that joke ready to go from the minute I knew I was going to win.
You are not Kendrick Lamar, and you're not going to be humble in this one. You take that win. You know what? Good for you.
Remember,
what?
I barely look at my team.
Oh, really? So that's even worse for Mark if you barely look at it.
I executed one trade because I needed to get rid of some stuff. I couldn't have 3 Eagles. Remember that? I had the 3 Eagles, and I literally overpaid just to get rid of 2 of the Eagles. So take that for data.
Fly, Shasky, fly. By the way, we are streaming on YouTube right now, so you can see both of our lovely faces, brought to you by First NorCal Credit Union. For a low-rate auto loan, apply online, or just ask for First NorCal Financing the dealer. We got an action-packed show today.
I mean, the stuff that happened in the Bay Area yesterday was insane.
It was. No, I cannot think of like a crazier day with all 3 teams. Oh, no, seriously. And it's crazy to think that the managerial change might have been like in the order of like what was hitting me. Might have been like the 3rd.
Because we kind of knew and saw and thought it should be coming.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, and I also think
it felt inevitable.
Bob never really had an imprint within like the Giants fan base for them to really care one way or the other. Like there was clear frustration. No, seriously.
I know, but this thing that Bob was a Giant one time for a couple years, like he never connected.
He was an A. Like let's stop it right there. He was an A. He was never a Giant.
They've been trying to sell me, and I'm talking about former A's employees, and you know exactly who you are. Former A's covering people who covered the A's. Everyone wanted to sell me on Bob Melvin. It never hit me. Bob never hit me like that.
Bob never sold himself on being Bob Melvin to this team, to this fan base.
Absurd.
So that's where we're at with that. This is going to be a massive, search. And, of course, the name that always pops up, Bruce Bochy, as the Texas Rangers in him part ways. Now, I did see, conflicting reports or tweets, Passan saying, the Giants are going to be interested. Could Bochy be interested? But I got, John Heyman also saying that, he's going to stay on with the Texas Rangers, Bruce Bochy, that is, as a consultant. So who knows? All I know is that Bruce Bochy is currently not managing a Major League Baseball team, and I'm sure Buster Posey is going to reach out.
So I'm just a big believer in these reunite situations very rarely work out. You know, you might have a little bit of success. You know, I think like somebody like Joe Gibbs stepped away, went to NASCAR, came back to football. You know, it wasn't as good as the original tenure. I think of Don Nelson coming back. Look, I know We Believe was great, but it crashed and burned the next year. I mean, big time. And there's a variety of reasons why. I know everyone's going to point to Phil Jackson. Phil's a very unique case. Phil didn't want to coach through the lean years and made up reasons, as I go air quotes, to step away. And I think he was at a status in the game that allowed him to kind of do whatever he wanted. But we can all agree, Phil is quite close to a unicorn in this scenario, as you're going to find. And I know Bochy is the greatest New York or San Francisco manager of all time. I know there's somebody screaming about John McGraw in New York, but for my money, it's Bruce Bochy, and it's not close. I don't want to reach back into the past. One thing that's really frustrated me with the 49ers, and I'm talking about ownership, is that they're so worried about replicating the 80s. It's like, why don't you just forge your own future? And I'm a big believer in creating your own path and not what did we do well a decade ago? What's going to be hitting for the next decade? Look at all the different companies right now that are thriving. Are they worried about replicating a product from the past, or are they looking for what the next future thing is?
Innovation. Future.
Absolutely. Now, look, again, it can work, and I'm not saying that Bruce Bochy is not on my list somewhere, but to say that I'm hot on it is completely inaccurate. I'm very lukewarm at best when it comes to the Bruce Bochy reunion with the San Francisco Giants. I actually think it would be a bad look for Buster Posey because to me it screams, I don't have a lot of creativity and outside-the-box thinking or contacts around the league.
What if I threw this at you? And I would love participation from the fans right now. 888-957-9570. The phone lines are open. You can also text us on the Boxer and Gerson Work Injury Attorneys text line. Same number for both, 888-957-9570. We got a massive, massive show. A lot of Niners we're going to dive into. We'll dive into the Warriors. We're currently talking about the Giants. We got Brian Baldinger's 7:30, Baldy's Breakdowns. Again, this is absolutely, without a doubt, the best show we have every week. It's on a Tuesday. We got the day to marinate on the game, on all the injuries. We got Bonte joining us after Baldy, 8 o'clock in studio for 2 hours. We'll touch on all three of the teams with the king himself. Bonte, he was at Media Day yesterday. He got to chat with all the players, say what's up to him. We'll get his thoughts on all the comments to Jonathan Kuminga, about Jonathan Kuminga, I should say, because Kuminga wasn't there. Steph, Draymond, Jimmy, all of that. I promise we will get to it. But what about this, Joe? And it's not like for like the same, but how did you feel when the 49ers brought back Robert Saleh as defensive coordinator?
Well, I mean, I think he was the best candidate available, and he's not the top dog. Like, he's the defensive coordinator. So it's a little different. It's slightly unique. It's like bringing back, to me, it would be like bringing back Luke Walton or Mike Brown or, what's the other guy that was on the team? He was the offensive coordinator, and then he left. He went to Phoenix. He's bounced around a few times. Oh, the name's evading me. One of the many coaches that the Warriors have brought back. Like, he wasn't really the top dog, so, I wouldn't be opposed to that. But
Alvin Gentry.
Alvin Gentry, yeah. Thank you. That's again, I'm not saying it can't work. Like, think about this. What's the issue right now with the Giants? You got a lot of young guys that play a different kind of brand of ball that want somebody that can connect to them. You've got a variety of personalities in that clubhouse that probably, to me, need someone closer to their age and their generation than from 3 or 4 generations ago. And I don't think going into the past is the correct tact here. I don't even know if Bochy wants it. Now, look, this would never happen. Ever. I don't think this would ever happen. But my number one choice is not Bruce Bochy.
Oh.
My number one choice is the guy from Tennessee, Tony Vitello. He's 40-something years old. He is a college baseball lifer. For those that are like rolling their eyes right now, college baseball, going to the bigs. Well, the guy who's managing the Milwaukee Brewers right now in the playoffs was the Arizona State coach. And to me, it's kind of like a Jimmy Johnson-esque acquisition. If you follow college baseball even a little, this guy didn't just like ignite Tennessee. He helped create them. First 40-win season. They've just been in the sectionals year after year after year after year. Now, you hire someone like that, you better have an old-time OG who does understand Major League Baseball and the 162 grind and all the inner workings. And that's where, and again, this would never happen, but would Bruce Bochy not want to be the top dog and be on that bench somewhere? As my trusted OG assistant, maybe he doesn't want to be in front of the cameras every day, getting peppered by the media every day. Maybe he wants more of a backseat. Could it be Ron Wotus? Could it be someone I'm not even anticipating right now? Like, look, the other name that really intrigues me, and the Tennessee guy is the one that really hits me. I would love to go that direction. I think it meets what we're looking for. But Yadier Molina is another name that I keep seeing thrown out.
Yadi?
And I want to think about this. Like, you need someone who can connect this clubhouse. And there are lots of guys from different corners of the world. And Yadier has played on a variety of high-level teams. He's a catcher. I always love catchers as my managers because they are pitch to pitch, thinking about situations 5 steps ahead, how to set up someone. This guy's on the on-deck circle. This is how we have to attack this guy. I think Yadier Molina would be an excellent choice, but he would need somebody who's a trusted agent on that bench who has experience doing the job. This reminds me a lot of like when Sean McVay took over the LA Rams. One of his first hires was Wade Phillips, and Wade Phillips had an unbelievable feel and resume for how to do the job and how to maybe give some insights to a young rookie guy taking that first long journey. And so whether it's Tony Vitello, Yadier Molina, I hear people recommend Mark DeRosa, who coached the USA team.
Former
I'm not as hot on Mark DeRosa as others. I understand the allure. The other name that I keep seeing is Stephen Vogt. Stephen Vogt is got 1 year left on his contract with Cleveland. It would require some sort of negotiation with Cleveland. I feel like that's a long shot.
As Cleveland is hosting a playoff game today against the Detroit Tigers after an incredible September push and an incredible collapse by the Tigers. I don't see that one happening, but continue. Yes.
I don't either. I don't either. But, I guess people think Cleveland is cheap or whatever. I think where I'm going at with this is that as much as I love Bruce Bochy, he is an all-time legend. I hold him in the highest of high regards. To me, going backwards and bringing him back in would not be my first choice. I understand the allure. I'm not saying that he's not great. I know he just won a championship with the Texas Rangers a couple of years ago. He's 70. He's 70.
He's old.
As much as I want to go back in time, I do believe part of the future of the Giants is forging a different path. That doesn't mean you can't have respect and honor all the things, from 10, 12, and 14. But baseball is very different than what it was 15 years ago. And if they want to go into the future, I want someone who's going to have a long runway. That's just my preference currently as of right now.
Giants fans, are you all in on bringing Bruce Bochy back to the Bay, or are you going elsewhere? Are you going new? Are you going innovative? Are you going, as Shasky's saying, Tony Vitello's the guy you're referencing, the head coach at Tennessee. Is that the name you're going for? Are you going off the board? And what is Buster Posey looking for, more importantly? Because Yadier Molina, obviously one of his peers, a guy he played with, has tremendous respect for all the battles that the Cardinals and Giants have had in the past. Probably the two, like when I think of the catchers of our generation, which is probably the last 10-15 plus years, it's him, Buster Posey, and Yadier Molina.
Yep.
And then for a little bit, it was Joe Mauer, but half of that was probably at first base because all the concussions, what have you. But it's those two guys. When I just think of the top of their craft and knowing their pitching staffs inside and out, it's Yadier Molina and Buster Posey. I didn't even think of Yadi. That's a great name. And I just think of all the Spanish speakers in the clubhouse themselves. That is that's a big aspect of it. Being able to communicate with your star players.
That's why.
And I get that, like, Rafi Devers can speak some English. I get some of these guys can speak some English. There is a subtle nuance, though, of actually knowing both of the languages and knowing, what makes these guys tick. That matters.
Well, and it doesn't mean that somebody who maybe doesn't speak Spanish at all can't, navigate around that. But
absolutely.
I do believe that
Bochy had a lot of Spanish speakers on that team, and he knew those guys inside and out.
And they had a variety of guys on the staff who would be able to communicate in a variety of ways. But like connecting with the young guys is important. You know, I think whoever the next person is, you want Rafi Devers, Willie Adames, Matt Chapman to a slightly lesser degree, you know, Bryce Eldridge, Logan Webb. You know, you want those guys 1,000% on board.
You have to.
There's so much money invested in those guys that, and I'm not saying they're making the choice, but they have to at least have some sort of like thumbs up. Let's do this.
So you got Logan. I'm just looking at the depth chart right now, and this is kind of what I'm also wondering. And I get it. You're finding out your manager for the future. This is like the first major, you know, decision for Buster Posey right now. He got rid of Bob Melvin. All right. So you got to find something better now because Bob was 81 this past year. There was some good, there was some bad. It was a lot of meh though. And I think Sam had the line yesterday when he told me he always referenced him as Bob Meh-vin, not Melvin. So I'll give you a 4 for that, Sam. It was good. Shout out Garlic Fries and Baseball Guys Pod. 150th episode yesterday. I made my first appearance. So shout out Sammy.
Oh, he was just annoying the ever-living stuff out of me yesterday trying to get
me on. I texted you once. You're like, I don't know when my wife's going to be home.
He literally said on the pod, he's like, yeah, we got Spadoni on here. And obviously not because I couldn't get Steven Risotto or Joe Shasky on. It's because I wanted Joe as my first choice. Thanks, Sammy.
Sam, I'm sorry. That. My wife's going to New York this week. Your boy is just overwhelmed with life.
It's okay.
I apologize.
Concrete jungles where dreams are made of.
But
New
you
York,
know,
baby.
like...
No, there's no hard feelings about it. Don't worry about it.
I want you guys to think about sports in the last, like, just 15, 20 years. You know, everyone's going to point to a Nick Saban going back and forth between college and pros or Jimmy Johnson. But there have been a lot of guys that have gone from the college ranks to the professional ranks, all right, in a variety of sports.
Yeah.
Brad Stevens is a great example. You know, Brad Stevens has had excellent success. Has he not?
He's had excellent success. He's one of the, we don't talk about Brad Stevens enough, not only as a college coach, an NBA head coach, but making the transition at his peak to the front office and becoming a champion there. That is literally Jerry West type of stuff.
Exactly. You know, and
he just wasn't the player that Jerry West was.
And then I think of someone to a much lesser degree, but Billy Donovan has had a heck of an NBA career, like in the sense that look how long he stuck around.
I mean, he was really good on those like we see Billy Donovan on the OKC teams when he was there taking over for Scott Brooks. Like they had the Warriors on the brink there.
Exactly. And obviously Jim Harbaugh, having played in the pros, going back and forth between college and pros, is one example of it.
Pete Carroll.
Pete Carroll's the other one. Well, and I would say that Tony Vitello, very much like Pete Carroll, is a culture builder. And, I mean, he's hyped up out of his mind. I mean, you're looking at a guy who's got some sort of combination of Dan Campbell meets Pete Carroll. Right? And those guys are infectious. And looking in the dugout the last couple of years, Kapler was so tense. They went complete opposite direction with Bob Melvin, and they went total flatliner. To me, I actually think they need somebody who is like, let's go, let's pump it up, like going to clap it up with the boys and give somebody a bear hug and just not be so on edge at every single moment, but also not be dead asleep in the dugout. I think they need somebody who can thread the needle here, and that's why I think thinking inside the college ranks is not the worst move in the world.
When you look at this team, what's more important for this offseason? Is it adding to the roster? I know the cop-out answers say both, but is it the current depth chart and adding to it, or is it the managerial hire for you? Because I'm looking at it right now. You got Logan Webb, you got Robbie Ray. That's a hell of a 1-2 punch. And, you know, next year, Kaiwei Tang, do you bring back Justin Verlander, who salvaged his season pretty well, had a sub-4 ERA. The first couple months were rough. The win-loss percentage was awful for him. I know winning's not everything for the starting pitchers, but for some it still matters. I'm sure for Justin, it was hard to watch that 0-10 for quite some time. You feel like you have a good nucleus now. For the first time in a long time, you have a legitimate nucleus at the top of that lineup. You got Devers, right? You got Chapman. You got Adames. Do you trade Ramos? Do you keep Ramos? You got Jung-Hoo Lee, who I actually thought had a hell of a, I'm calling a redshirt rookie season. Some ups and downs. Casey Schmidt, I thought emerged at times. Patrick Bailey.
I'm not going to fall victim to the final month of the season.
No, I'm not exactly. Drew Gilbert was, you know, he's a fun player, but producing-wise, but he's a young guy. And then Bryce Eldridge, obviously, is the big unknown and the guy you're hoping takes that big leap. So you got structure there. You have to add on top of that. And I guess that's where I'm at. When I saw the change yesterday, it's like, okay, That's one of the moves that they're going to have to make this offseason. But it's going to have, this is going to be the winter of Buster.
You know what this year reminds me of? And I didn't see this coming at the time. The 2010-2011 49er transition from Mike Singletary to Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh steps in, and everyone's like, whoa, actually, they got a ton of talent, and they're all in their prime. Whoa. I think the right guy at the helm and a couple of moves, because I think both are true. They need multiple things to happen this offseason. With the right moves, the right guy at the helm, I think we're going to look at this situation completely different come March, April, and May. I really do. I think this team is a sleeping stud team that could really put a dent. Guys, look at the Dodgers. I know the West is theirs year after year. They got a lot of bloated contracts. Now, I know they got the randos that show up every single year that overproduce, but I think somebody's going to catch them next year.
Well,
I really do.
The Padres could have. They had an opportunity to the
They
last
were
few
vulnerable
weeks.
this year in a way that we didn't think was even possible at the beginning of the year.
I can't even think about the Dodgers or hell the Padres yet. You just cleared the D-backs within the last week. That's a team you're going to have to for sure overtake, and they have a lot of question marks. I guess they retained their manager, Torey Lovullo. So we're talking about it all right now. Bruce Bochy is out there, Giants fans. Should Buster Posey bring him back? Now, should he bring him back as manager? Do you want him back as a consultant? Or do you just want him back here in the Bay in general to go to the local bar and hang out and Boch is there? I made the comp last night. I know we're up against it. It's almost like, you move back to your hometown, your grandpa's there, and you go to hang out with your grandpa, and you go to the ice cream store, and it's great. It's fun. It's awesome. But, it's grandpa. And grandpa's always going to be there. You'll always have those memories, Joe. I don't know if I need to go back to get those memories from a decade plus ago. And I don't know if it's going to translate with this current roster. None of those guys are here anymore.
I know.
It's a new team. It's a new era. And I think to symbolize that, to really put your fingerprint on this organization of your Buster, you have to do something bold. Well, I don't think Bruce Bochy is bold. Yadier Molina, that would be bold.
Well, they need somebody who's energized, too.
Yes.
I think, and I'm not saying that Bruce isn't energized, but he looked tired at the end of the Texas run.
I would be, too. The guy's been doing this for a long time. A long time. He won the World Series in Texas. He's got to be made there forever. By the way, we are coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios, Laughing Monk Righteously Brewed in San Francisco. Do you want Bruce Bochy back in the Bay, Giants fans? We'll get into that, plus Warriors Media Day. There was a lot of interesting sound we have to react to when it comes to Stephen Curry, Draymond Green, Jimmy Butler, all of that. Brian Baldinger, 7:30. Bonte Hill in studio from 8 to 10. We'll talk about that Niners loss. And is Brock Purdy going to suit up on Thursday? It's not sounding like it. We'll get into that. And it's all going to be brought to you by Pier 39.
On Saturday, October 4th, Pier 39 is throwing a party on the waterfront. Enjoy drinks to go and activities for the whole family. From live music to special deals, it's all here at Pier 39. Learn more at pier39.com/entertainment zone.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus taxes and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
When selecting a financial institution, how do you know you're making the right choice? As Bay Area bank customers find themselves at a crossroads, maybe it's good to consider if you want your bank to be community-oriented or corporate-minded. Fremont Bank has grown by providing stable, consistent service to the region, its families, and its businesses for 60 years, all without a single merger. And we intend for more of the same for the next 60. Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good.
Neuropathy is a debilitating condition that is sometimes misdiagnosed. Symptoms can include pain, numbness, and tingling in your hands, legs, and feet. Neuropathy is a progressive condition that only worsens unless you get effective treatment. SF Bay Wellness is a leader in neuropathy reversal and uses FDA-cleared, non-invasive electric cell therapy to restore nerve function with no injections, no drugs, and no surgery. The treatments have a 95% success rate. If distance is a factor, ask about our virtual consultation option. Call SF Bay Wellness at 844-94-NERVE for the $99 neuropathy evaluation and receive a personal treatment plan that is tailored to your needs. Don't wait another day. Call 844-94-NERVE. That's 844-94-NERVE. Why keep suffering with the painful symptoms of neuropathy? You deserve to live a pain-free life. Start getting the treatment you need for your neuropathy symptoms. Call today.
For over 70 years, Golden State Lumber and Showroom has developed strong partnerships with top brands like Trex. Leading the way in performance-engineered decking and railing, Trex offers products that won't rot, splinter, or fade. Their sun-comfortable, heat-mitigating technology keeps decks cool underfoot, and Trex marine-grade decking withstands saltwater, sun, and sand. Explore their latest Transcend colors, Hatteras and Salt Flat, featuring a 50-year limited residential warranty. For a link to Trex, visit goldenstatelumber.com. Golden State, when you succeed, we succeed.
Ragnar the Terrible got a job at a big bank. Let's listen. So what's it like being a 5th century warlord?
Same as big bank. We conquer and extort gold from conquest.
Huh. We just lower our customers' deposit rates and raise their fees.
And if they argue, put on their floorboards and crush while dining.
So smart. Star One isn't like the big banks. We think banking should be pain-free, with lower loan rates, higher deposit rates, and friendly customer service. Star One, in your best interest.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick it up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results. Faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free timeshare exit information kit. 800-384-9393. That's 800-384-9393.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement.
Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's gotta be clean, it's gotta be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
This is San Jose Jazz fan, and I wake up with the Morning Joes, Spadoni and Shasky on 95.7 The Game. They're doing a great job.
Oh, heck yeah.
We are rolling, baby. What's up, Jazz fan? What's up, Jana Mountain View? I want to hear from all you people today. 888-957-9570. That's the number to call or text. We're talking about it all. The Bay Area, it's insane right now when it comes to sports topics. Giants move on from Bob Melvin. Who they going after? Who should they go after? Do they bring back Bruce Bochy, who has been let go, or I guess mutually parted ways? That was what we're calling it?
Yeah.
With the Texas Rangers. We'll talk to Dave Fleming at some point this week. We'll put on our season recap with Dave, who's been good to us, great to us, actually, all season long. I think. Thursday for David B. Fleming, courtesy of River Islands Guest Line. Well, today we got Baldy at 7:30 and Bonte Allen Studio from 8 to 10.
There's another name that I haven't referenced that's actually been it's been an interesting one that I've seen like under the radar for a couple of years. Nick Hundley, who actually was a Giant, played with the A's as well. Mm-hmm. He was hired by the Texas Rangers as a special assistant to Chris Young, who was the general manager the last few years for the Texas Rangers, and he was recently at Pac Bell at AT&T. What was it, Oracle? I don't even know what we're calling it these days.
Singular Wireless Park. That's what we're calling it. Remember that? Singular? It was like the orange X.
Continue. Stop! But he's an interesting name too, and I know he doesn't have any experience, but I'm always, how do I put this? I'm going to always be enamored if you're a guy who, used to play, has connections around the league, and just grew up in and out of the game your entire life and has been a catcher at some level. Like, I love guys that were catchers because I think that you are thinking pitch by pitch, not just about what you're doing right now, but how are you setting something up for 2, 3, 4, 5 batters down the line. You have a manager's mentality when you are looking at how your pitcher should approach said lineup every single day. I'm a big believer in that. You've been communicating with bullpen guys and trying to get the best out of them the entirety of your career.
They're the bridge from the everyday guys to the pitching staff. They're the bridge, if you will.
They are, and they're almost like therapists for your team. Yep. They are, statistician, or data guy, and I know we do advanced metrics and like that. Catchers have been doing that in their head for years, and so I always love those guys that are catchers. I'm not saying that you have to be a catcher to be a great manager. That's not what I'm saying. But I do believe that guys that are great managers, a lot of them have catching somewhere in their background.
Here's Buster Posey, who spoke to the media yesterday, and 888-957-9570. Giants fans, do you want Bruce Bochy back as manager of your squad? This is what Posey said initially yesterday on the firing of one Bob Melvin.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, right? It's definitely not ideal. But unfortunately, we've talked about it a lot, what the standards are for the Giants, and we have high standards, and I hold myself to those same standards. I mean, I understand fully the position that I'm in now. My job and the team's success is evaluated accordingly as well. And, you, without a doubt, hope that there can be consistency in these leadership positions. And, we've got to get back to a place where, we're getting in the playoffs, we're making runs in playoffs, and that's what our fan base deserves. That's what the city deserves. And as I mentioned before, or I don't know if I mentioned it, it's when seasons don't go the way you want them, it's never one person's fault. It's never one group's fault. But when they don't go the way you want them, you can't, in my opinion, can't sit there and say we're going to come back and do the same thing that we did this year for the next year. So, having said that, that's part of why we landed where we landed.
I think Bob Melvin was probably not the right person to be controlling the team moving forward. I heard a question at the very end of the presser. I forget who asked it, but they were like, hey, you guys missed the playoffs by 2 or 3 games. Had you made the playoffs, would we be having this discussion? And they basically said, Posey, well, I don't do hypotheticals.
Yeah, I think it was Baggerly that asked it. Yeah.
It's interesting to me because, it
was very short. It was a very short response. That's literally what he said, and that was it.
I think 2 things can be true. I think, number one, the team's success was irrelevant to how they felt about Bob Melvin, to me, to a degree. Yes, if you make the playoffs and you go on a deep run, and you can be swayed, you're always going to have that small semblance. But I just don't think he was ever Posey's guy. That's number one. Number two, the team was flawed. And I will give Bob Melvin some leeway here in that even though I don't like him as manager, and I was very when they hired him, I still believe the hand he was dealt was not a great one. I know Logan Webb said, hey, this is the best team I've ever been on. Yeah, that's true. You also had basically 2 pitchers for months on end. Verlander, though it looked better at the end, ended up being your 3rd most important pitcher for 3 months of the season, 2 months of the season, which is not good enough. Landon Rube had a great year, got hurt, never came back. Yeah. You traded away all of your relievers, which was the right decision. But this team didn't have enough pitching. I think that some of the position players that they were relying on were so up and down in their performance. So There was a roster construction issue. There was players stepping up and not playing to their ability. Adames had 2.5 months that were god-awful.
Yeah.
I know he finished with 30 home runs. You're kidding yourself if you think Adames had a great year. He had a good year considering how poor it started.
A lot of the players had a bad 2.5 months.
No doubt.
That's the reason they didn't make the playoffs.
Even Devers, the first month wasn't great. He ended up still hitting 20 home runs in his 90 games with the Giants. I think there was a lot of up and down performances that are out of Melvin's control. And I also think that there's a lot of very specific fundamental things that everyone's like, that's on the manager. Base running mistakes? You can teach base running all you want. Sometimes it's a guy just out there going rogue. Just going rogue. So, two things are true. Melvin wasn't great. I was ready to move off him. They also have a lot of work to do on the roster.
888-957-9570. Do you believe, Joe? I know that Posey said it's a hypothetical. I'm not going to go down that road. Do you think had this team made the playoffs, they would have kept Melvin?
They probably would have, and I think that would have set them back because we would have had these same discussions about Bob Melvin next year.
Now,
the first 2-week bad stretch, what would we have been saying?
I mean, it would have been...
They need a fresh start.
They need a fresh start. It's hard for me to really have a strong opinion on Bob Melvin because I always viewed him as a lame duck, and I think you did too, and I think a lot of people did this season. He wasn't Posey's guy. We see this all the time, and it's baseball. It's not baseball exclusive. We see it all the time in the NFL more, where it's like you inherit a new GM, correct? A new GM takes over, or president of football operations, what have you, and they want to put their imprint, and they take over a team, right? And this time around, it was what was the most recent interim coach that took over, and they tried it and it didn't work, and they flipped the page immediately.
Jeff Saturday,
Antonio Pierce. There you go. There you go. Right. And then a new regime took over. Tom Brady was minority owner, but he's going to start calling the shots, and he's going to be the new guy. Cleaned house. Now, Posey gave, Bob Melvin some respect because Bob, to his credit, in the past, he was able to, do good things with the A's. He did take the Padres to the NLCS. He did take the Diamondbacks at one point to the NLCS. He was able to do that, but it's not what this current team needs.
I super respect Susan Slusser, okay? She has been covering the Bay Area teams for a long, long time. But she is so off. For someone who's been covering these teams for so long, Giants fans don't give a rip about anything that you do with the A's. It's not that we hate the A's. We just literally don't care.
Well, also,
we don't care. And she's like, Bay Area fans, they know Bob Melvin. Yeah. Not my buddies, not my family and friends. You know what we thought of Bob Melvin? Why did he keep losing in the playoffs? Why do teams keep saying goodbye?
Well, I think if Slusser's saying that, she's also speaking out of turn on A's fans and the majority of how they felt about Bob. Because I was an A's fan, and most of the A's fans that I know, a big majority, were tired of Bob Melvin choking the playoffs and other teams choking the playoffs.
Yeah, but
sorry, no, that's how they felt about him towards the end.
There's this weird thing, and I'm not picking on her, but Greg Poppin is the same thing. Greg and Susan, Giants fans don't care about anything that the A's done. Just because we live in the Bay Area, I have zero emotional attachment to the A's and people that did something in an A's uniform at all. That does not resonate with me. And just because Bob was a Giant for a year and a half, from 87, 88, and into 89, miss me with that. Most people, Sam wasn't even alive when that happened. Most people don't even remember that. So
Sam wasn't even alive.
Well, Sam's a diehard. He's in his 30s right now, a complete diehard. But they were selling us on the Bay Area fan really likes Bob. No, we don't. I was there. When Bob Melvin got introduced, you know who got the loudest ovation? Pat Burrell and Matt Williams. Guys that were real Giants.
Speaking of loud ovations, I wonder if Jonathan Kuminga is going to get one if he plays in the preseason game this Sunday. Speaking of which, on the other side, we have an update on the Kuminga crisis. You know what's going to be brought to you by? I'll tell you what it's going to be brought to you by. As I have so many paper today. I have 20 sheets of paper. It's going to be brought to you by Fremont Bank, here for you, here for good.
Coach, the energy out there felt different. What changed for the team today?
It was the new game day scratchers from the California Lottery. Players, everything. Those games sent the team's energy through the roof.
Are you saying it was the off-field play that made the difference on the field?
Hey, a little play makes your day, and today, it made the game. That's all for now.
Coach, One more question.
Play the new Los Angeles Chargers, San Francisco 49ers, and Los Angeles Rams Scratchers from the California Lottery. A little play can make your day. Please play responsibly. Must be 18 years or older to purchase, play, or claim.
Oh, it's Spadoni here, and I got to talk about Oakland, and I mean the Oakland Roots, because they're back at home Tuesday, October 7th against the Hartford Athletic, and it's going to be at the historic Oakland Coliseum. I've been to a lot of games this season. I brought both my kids. They've had a great time. If you're wondering about going out to a Roots game, I got to tell you, it is fun, it's relaxing, it's welcoming. That is what I could say about an Oakland Roots game. It is welcoming. You are welcome to go there. We've already seen football, and we've already seen the baseball there. It's all about soccer these days. Carter knows what I'm talking about. He's all in on football. And you can be too. Go to oaklandrootssc.com to get your tickets today. You can also watch the game on KTVU Plus or ESPN Plus.
Now at Whole Foods Market, save 20% on beef chuck roast and stew meat with Prime through September 30th. As always, there are no antibiotics ever. Simmer in your slow cooker for a melt-in-your-mouth protein. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown Baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby. Our next caller is
Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge.
Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Hey, it's Mark Willard from 95.7 The Game. Look, when life hits you hard, and it happens, could be an accident, an injury, you need to hit back harder. You need a fierce team that knows the insurance game and refuses to back down. That's why I trust Omar Habas and the entire Habas Law team. For over 40 years, Habas Law has gone head-to-head with insurance companies, winning medical care, financial support, and real justice, and Habas doesn't get paid unless you do. Visit habaslaw.com. Habas Law, they'll fight to make it right.
Now it's time for the closer of the week. Presented by LiftMaster and R&S Doors. Turn your garage into the envy of the neighborhood. Visit rnsdoors.com.
This week's closer comes from Bruce from Concord. Tony Lazzarini installed our new garage door system. He was professional, knowledgeable, and answered all my questions. The doors run perfectly and are nice and quiet. I definitely recommend Tony and R&S of Concord.
Recently, my garage door opener was not working. I was in need of a closer. I was put in touch with R&S Doors, and they hooked me up with a brand new garage door opener from LiftMaster. With LiftMaster's MyQ connectivity, my garage door opener can be controlled right from my smartphone. You'll know when a door or gate has been left open and can close it with a tap, no matter where I am. Be one of the first 10 callers and receive 20% off a LiftMaster garage door opener.
Call 1-800-FIX-A-DOOR. That's 800-FIX-A-DOOR. Or visit rsdoors.com. R&S Doors. Look for the red truck.
This is an important notice to all U.S. taxpayers. The IRS is giving away billions of dollars in tax savings through a federal program called the Fresh Start Initiative to aid delinquent taxpayers. This initiative was established for anyone facing financial hardship and unable to pay their back taxes. Qualifying and enrolling in this program will stop all collections, settle your delinquent tax problem, and even reduce what you owe by thousands of dollars. Call the hotline at People's Tax Relief to see if you qualify and get this free information by dialing 800-351-4596. If you have unfiled tax returns or cannot afford to pay your personal or business back taxes, you can now get the help you need. One simple phone call can resolve your tax problem and save you thousands of dollars. To see if you qualify and to get this important free information, call 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596. 800-351-4596.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly.
At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
I love bicycles.
It's science.
Oh, yeah! Roasters, what's happening? It's Chewy Gomez from 102 Jams. I got you covered every afternoon from 3 to 7. And you know my boys Joe Spadoni and Joe Shasky. Well, they got you all morning long right here on the Morning Roasts. Take it away, Spadoni.
Always got love for Chewy. Also, shout out Andre Nicotino. What was that snort?
What was that? Was that me?
Was that a pig?
Did I do that? When did I do that?
You're a snorter when you laugh? I love that.
When
you were laughing on one of Spadoni's jokes last segment.
I must have been funny. By the way, this segment's brought to you by Golden State, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations.
I have a deviated septum. I don't think that's something funny to mess around
when
with,
you
boys.
succeed, we succeed. Visit GoldenStateLumber.com. Well, you should get that checked. Go to a nose doctor, a schnoz doctor, if you will. I'm sure I got a deviated something. I mean, look at this.
Hashtag my nose. How dare you do that to me?
Joe knows. Joe knows baseball?
Screw that.
Joe knows basketball, because we're about to dive into some basketball, Steve Kerr. Warriors Media Day happened. I don't know if you know this. A lot was said yesterday about the upcoming season, but also a lot was said about, you guessed it, Jonathan Kuminga, the gift that keeps on giving. It's literally been Christmas year-round when it comes to Kuminga conversations, because we all got to get a gift on JK. Just play it. Just play the thing. Come on. Just give it to me, Carter. Give it to me with your SF Giants hat, and then you're back in.
Kaminga is fun.
All right. I love that we do remixing on it now. So,
oh, my goodness.
So the deadline for the qualifying offer.
When you guys, one second. When you
tomorrow.
Guys drop all those little, like, I'm the one who has to feel the repercussions of that.
What do you mean?
Because I hate you. I hate you.
For around the world.
I hate you.
Is that White Mike? We're talking about the Kaminga crisis. Black Rob, Wet. The nicknames.
No. You guys.
What? Did you hear what Steph said yesterday? Did you hear what Draymond Green said? Did you hear what Jimmy Butler? Literally, every single one of them was asked about JK. I want to say it was all the first questions, too, was about Jonathan Kuminga. And, oh, by the way, shout out to our guy, Nick Friedel, back officially on the Warriors beat for The Athletic. Obviously, Anthony Slater, who's been our guy for a long time, moving over to ESPN. Still got love for Slater, absolutely. Shams Charania, he's working in tandem with him over there. But Nick Friedel, welcome back to the Warriors beat. We missed you, buddy, and I can't wait to talk to Nick Friedel, hopefully sooner rather than later. And he had an interesting tweet yesterday covering Media Day and saying this is like the first time he's ever seen a head coach / GM not participate speaking to the media yesterday, as Steve Kerr nor Mike Dunleavy spoke yesterday. Joe, why do you think that is?
It's because Jonathan Kuminga and his representation are not understanding that there's 4 options, and that's it. These are it. These are the only options on the planet, and they have been for a long time. I'm beyond fatigued by this entire thing. There's 4 options. The first one is accept the qualifying offer. The second one is 2 years, $45 million, team option. 3 years, $75 million, team option. 3 years, $54 million, no team option. That's it. That's it. There's no present that's going to come down into the sky and give you a 5th option. Those are your 4 options. And if I am ownership, if I am the GM, if I am the head coach, if I am a player on the team, I'm over this whole exercise. This whole, like, we understand it's a business, it's supply and demand, okay? At this point, Jonathan, based on the rules of the CBA, you have 4 options, okay? Choose one so that everyone else can go about their business, all right? I gave it to you. The 2, the 3, the other 3-year deal with no option, or the qualifying offer. It is beyond exhausting And when Steph Curry, the greatest player in our lifetime for the Warriors, is basically saying, like, yeah, I don't even, like, without, just play his sound.
I got the sound. Let's play it right now.
Like, I thought it was the most agitated I've ever seen Steph regarding another player's contract situation, and that includes the KD era.
Well, Joe, think about it. I'm going to play the sound. It's a question attached to it from Anthony Slater on Jonathan Kuminga's situation and trying to separate business from the basketball. But literally the season ended back in May with questions about JK, and fast forward to the start of the season, and they're still asking the same questions about it. How frustrating is that? Your first day back at work, Joe, it's like ending the school year, right? And you're sitting down with your teacher, and it's going to be the same teacher next year, but you're sitting down with your teacher. It's like, all right, these are the things you need to work on this summer. These are the things you need to work on. And then you come back first day of next school. It's like, you didn't work on those things. We still need to work on these same things. It's just frustrating all around if you're the teacher in this scenario. This is Stephen Curry on Jonathan Kuminga's situation.
Once Kuminga gets here, you expect him to be kind of locked in. But this has obviously already been a big offseason distraction. There's almost an inevitability it's going to bleed into once he gets back. How concerned are you just about the overall distraction of the situation?
I don't frame it like that. I think he's going to get asked questions. To your point, you're asking questions. Everybody's going to ask questions about it. But what happens when I leave this microphone and we go in the locker room and us players talk, like, that's going to be the make or break of how we kind of move into the year with the right frame of mind. So the good news is you've been around long enough. Me, Draymond, Jimmy, we've all been around long enough to know how to separate the business of it to the basketball of it. And those are two totally different areas. So our job is to focus on the basketball part and not let it become something that, gets in the way of how we approach every day.
That's going to make or break the mindset to start off this season. That's coming from a guy that knows how important how important and how fragile the mindset of a team can be to start off a season. Why is he saying that? Because he does not want a Jordan Poole, Draymond Green situation. Again, not saying that Draymond Green or anyone's going to punch Jonathan Kuminga, but that's a season that was doomed from the start because of bad locker room vibes.
When you also
Steph is saying that can break a team early on before the season even starts.
I mean, and it made it very, very difficult with Kevin Durant. It made it very, very difficult with Klay Thompson. I mean, those are real.
That team was so talented with KD that they could just get to the finals, but it was still tumultuous.
It was stormy.
Yes.
Klay Thompson, Chris Paul. I don't think the Chris Paul, kind of being in flux, I don't think that was great.
Yeah.
I think actually it was probably underreported.
Yeah.
I don't think this is exclusive to just Jonathan Kuminga. I think this has happened for a long time on a lot of teams. But we've reached the point of no return. Dude, you have 4 options. Pick one. Just pick one. And it's you've had all summer. No one else is stepping up and giving you a $30 million a year deal. No one else is stepping up and making a trade right now. You have to be realistic, right? And so as you survey the land, I think one thing that is pretty evident, you got 4 options. 3 of them are multi-year deals. If you don't like those, you take the qualifying offer. What is the holdup?
You got to ask Aaron Turner. You got to ask his agent. You got to ask the Kaminga camp. I don't know what the holdup is. Obviously, the deadline for the qualifying offer is tomorrow, October 1st. Now, it's being reported that they can push back the deadline, but I'm reading from Jake Fisher, Yahoo Sports, who covers the league. Kaminga and the Warriors have had no discussions about pushing back his deadline to accept the qualifying offer. So, I don't think, barring a miracle, I don't think there's going to be a 3-year extension with a player option, which is what Jonathan Kuminga wants. It sounds like he's probably going to accept a qualifying offer. And is this just something where, we've all done this in the past where you milk it, and you're going to be that thorn in everyone's side. And he's like, I'm not going to play game. I'm not going to play ball. I'm going to whine and I'm going to pout and I'm going to wait till the very last minute till you want me to do something. Is that what's going to happen here? I hope that's not the case. And I hope what Steph Curry's saying is true, that they could all separate the business side from the basketball side. And when and if he does get that qualifying offer, he gets in there. They all work. Everything's fine, hunky-dory. And that's the best case scenario. It's just when I hear the frustration in Steph, and we'll get to Draymond and Jimmy about this stuff, and then on top of it, your head coach and general manager aren't there, I thought yesterday was just a bad look. It was just a bad look for everyone.
Well, I understand he doesn't want to play on the team anymore. Like, I get that. But also, it's the NBA, and what comes with making millions of dollars at 18 years old is, yeah, your contractual rights are held by a team. Like, there's give and take. That's why the CBA exists. Is it perfect? No, it's far from it. And I understand everybody wants something. I guarantee we go around the league right now, Joe. Go around the league right now.
Let's go.
How many players on how many different teams are frustrated with the team they're currently on and want out?
Quite a bit, I'd say. Yes.
I agree.
Thus is the nature of the NBA, but that's also sports in general. I'm sure
I think that's life.
You do the NFL and MLB all the time.
I bet you go to Walgreens right now, there's a bunch of people that don't want to be there.
People in this building.
Exactly, right? And so, again, you also have to have a good understanding of what you're able to do and when you're able to do it and who you are relative to the league. And I think that they have misread the entire market over and over and over again, both internally and externally. And I'm talking about the Warriors and Jonathan Kuminga's team. Both are at fault. And now we've come down to, guys, this staring contest that we're in. There are 4 options. There's the 2-year with the player, with the team option, the 3-year with the team option, or the 3-year without a team option. Then there's the qualifying offer. Just pick one. And I'm actually impressed that the Warriors finally were like, all right, no, enough is enough. These are them, and that's it. Like, let's get this over with. We get it, you don't want to be here, but guess what? We don't want you here, probably. We were trying to work out a deal. We couldn't because this has been so tricky. So these are the best options that we have for both of us, and we'll just have to move on. I think both are sacrifices. We know both have made mistakes along the way. Whether you think the Warriors have made more mistakes or Kaminga has made more mistakes is irrelevant at this point. Both have made their mistakes. How can they solve it for the now? Here's your 4 options. Let's go.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGNZ FM and HD1 San Francisco and Odyssey Sports Station in the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the Free Odyssey app, coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios. We got Brian Baldinger joining us in 30 minutes. Baldy breakdowns every single Tuesday. We're going to discuss all of it when it comes to the 49ers. Huge loss, huge game on Thursday. Should Brock have played on Sunday? Did Kyle Shanahan? Did Brock? Who made the mistake there? Should Mac Jones have started? Ricky Pearsall injury. There is so much. The defensive line, the Baldy breakdowns I saw, by the way, yesterday, because he put out a bunch. The lack of effort at times from the defensive line, absent Nick Bosa, was very alarming. Very alarming.
Who handled the negotiation worse? Ayuk and the Niners? Warriors and Kuminga?
Ooh. I'm going to say the Warriors here because at least with the Niners, that's what they do. No, seriously though. That's what they do.
Yeah,
whether it's Debo, whether it's, Nick Bosa, whether it was, player X leading up to that point, they milk that thing till the very end. They've always done that in their negotiations. They don't like to cave, Joe. That's not how they do business. Now, it was refreshing to see how they handled business this past offseason, giving Kittle his extension, giving Warner his extension, giving Brock his extension. By the way, 2 of those guys hurt right now. Don't know their future for this season. Not good. But Fred Warner's balling out. That's nice. Then they handled their business with Juwan Jennings. They held firm. Hey, Juwan, I'm not paying you right now. Sorry. Like, you want this massive pay raise. Not happening. Go out there and play. So I liked how they did business offseason. But I'll say that the Warriors and how they've handled this, I do agree with you that there's fault on both sides.
Both sides.
And it's a very tricky thing because I understand the Warriors. It's all about leverage.
Well, and they can only afford so much, though. Because there are CBA rules. This thing that, just give him what he wants, that's unrealistic.
And it's also about leverage.
And they can't just lose the slot.
No, and they want the salary slot. That's the most important thing here is keeping that salary slot open. And I really despise how I have to talk about the finances of the NBA, and not to say any sport's perfect about it, but the loopholes and things I have to jump through, the hula hoops I have to jump through to even wrap my mind around the salaries and how it fits and everything. It's literally like calculus.
I know it's
and I hate it. And I don't like that I have to read multiple articles to try to understand these things and have these fancy names for fancy contracts. It's dumb. Sorry, I just had to go on a little tangent there about how we talk about the finances in the NBA.
No, it's too complicated.
It is very complicated.
But Joe, this is the thing that I heard everybody say 2 months ago or 3 months ago when this original qualifying offer thing, everyone's like, he wants to bet on himself. I heard that a lot from people. Who doesn't respect betting on themselves? I respect it, but if that's what you're going to do, then do it. That's kind of where I'm at now. Like everyone's reported. If that's what you want to do, which is totally up to you, and I'm actually not going to hold that against you. If you want to bet on yourself, then do it. Accept the qualifying offer and do it. Otherwise, here are the other 3 contract options that are available. Make your decision.
Here's Stephen Curry again. Warriors Media Day was yesterday.
Do you agree with what I just said?
I agree with you.
If he's gonna if you're gonna sell me on betting on himself, hey, you know what? That is admirable. That is admirable.
In fairness to him, though, betting on yourself doesn't automatically mean if I produce at this point, I'm going to get paid. With this new CBA,
No, but I'm saying betting on yourself would be accepting the qualifying offer. That's the way it's been phrased.
Yes, because betting on yourself would not be taking the Warriors team option
the
deal.
Guaranteed money with multiple years or a year extra on the. So I understand that. And that is a huge leap of faith. But if that's what you're prepared to do, dude, we're at Back to the Future, the point of no return. The DeLorean's off the tracks. We're going 88 miles per hour. We're going to speed off into the future of the season. Are you in or are you out? Remember when Doc Holliday or Doc, in Back to the Future, he had the dog. Him and the dog were in the DeLorean, and they're about to go flying off.
Yeah. What is it, Copernicus? That's the dog's name? There you go.
And then Marty gets into the car, and then Doc gets stuck on the railroad. Yep. Well, are you going to get stuck on the railroad, or are you going to hop in the DeLorean? If that's what you want to do, okay, and that's totally fine. If you want to accept the qualifying offer and bet on yourself, dude, more power to you. But do it. Show up.
You want to hear what Steph Curry's message was to Kuminga yesterday at Media Day? Here you go.
Negotiations are hard. We all know that. The idea of everybody's situation is a little different. Everybody can come up with whatever narrative they want to. It's how business kind of goes. Some things are pretty straightforward. Some things aren't. This is definitely in the aren't conversation or category. But when he comes and he's here, he should be a professional and do exactly what he expects to do and take advantage of his opportunities to help us win. Everybody who's in the locker room, that's what you're committed to do. And so I don't have any concerns that he'll approach it that way. And that's what we expect.
So that was Stephen Curry saying you got to separate the business side of everything, and he's being Steph.
But
right?
do you still buy that?
I think he's frustrated that he has to talk about it yesterday, and that's what I sensed was the tone in which they were speaking yesterday. Whether it was him, whether it was Draymond, whether it was Jimmy, the words were saying "Hey, I'm encouraged with Jonathan Kuminga. I want him to come back. I will receive him with open arms." The words were saying one thing, but the tone was saying another for me yesterday.
It feels like we've talked more about Jonathan Kuminga's contract than we did is KD coming back in the final year, which I didn't think was possible.
You not only think that, so does former president of basketball operations, Bob Myers, who was on with Steiny and Guru to celebrate Steiny's birthday last week.
Well, you guys know what people call in about. I'm fascinated by the level of attention Kuminga gets. He gets a ton of attention. And you guys got to explain that. I think he's obviously drafted him. There's a big unknown around Kuminga. That's probably why he gets so much attention. Yeah, look, football is the king, right? So you're going to get whatever happens with the 49ers on Sunday. People are going to want to talk about that. But the Kuminga thing, if I had to guess on how many calls you're going to get on each of them, I think you're going to get a lot of people weighing in on whatever Kuminga and the Warriors decide.
Yeah.
Wow,
I think it's a pretty hot topic.
And that's the guy who drafted him.
The fact that the guy who drafted him is surprised how much we talk about him, I think that speaks volumes.
I don't even know if
on the situation.
I don't even know if he wanted to draft Jonathan Kuminga. I'm not putting words in Bob's mouth. I'm speculating. This is pure speculation on my point. There were some murmurs about Franz Wagner, about all of that.
Who knows?
We know the owner loves Jonathan Kuminga. That much we do know. Joe Lacob loves him some Jonathan Kuminga. Listen, I like Jonathan Kuminga, the prospect, too. There's a lot to like about the prospect of Jonathan Kuminga. The size, the explosiveness, the athleticism. He flashed in big moments and big games last year in the second round of the NBA playoffs against an also young athletic team in the Minnesota Timberwolves. He showed you what he can do. It's the little things that they want him to do. That's what Steve Kerr wants him to do. And I just keep coming back to this. The fact that Steve Kerr and Mike Dunleavy weren't there yesterday to speak on this, it's kind of insane. It's kind of insane.
I don't know what to make of that. I don't know. I don't know what to make. Like I don't know.
It's the start of training. It's the start of training camp.
I know.
It's literally the equivalent of Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch not speaking in training camp.
The only other thing I could think of
insane.
that happened at Media Day for the Warriors in the last 35 years that even comes close is Monte Ellis, day one, when Steph got drafted, saying, yeah, I don't think I can play with him. Like, never even been on the court together. You guys probably don't remember any of that.
I can't. No, I do remember it, but I can't fathom this happening, and whether it's the Giants, whether it's the Niners, because the Niners have had these exact situations with, Trent Williams, with Brandon Ayuk. Literally last year, they had multiple players not show up, Joe. And Kyle Shanahan and John Lynch were like, yeah, it's just we're doing business. It's just the cost of doing business, And Kerr and Dunleavy couldn't show up yesterday? I don't get it. I wanted to hear from him, John. Actually, I thought yesterday was just not a great look. And I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with what Steph, Draymond, and Jimmy said. Their words were fine. It was just a bad look that JK wasn't there, your head coach wasn't there, your general manager. Like, players that are expected to be there game one aren't there. Al Horford, right? D'Anthony Melton wasn't there. It's great to see Gary Payton II. Awesome. It's great. Cool. But, like, guys that you are legitimately going to be leaning on at points in this season weren't there because of this Jonathan Kuminga mishap, because that's what's holding up everything. It's pretty insane.
It reminds me, like, the mad rush to get everyone signed before the deadline reminds me of, like, it's Tuesday night. Your giant project is due Wednesday morning. And at 8:30 at night, I would, like, walk up to my mom and I'd be like, hey, Mom.
Yeah, I know.
This poster board is actually due tomorrow.
Yeah.
I've had 7 months to work on it, and I haven't started any of it. And she'd be like, what? And she'd, like, get in the car. We'd drive over back to Walgreens, go get the poster board. I'd be working all night. It'd be half done. I'd be working on it in the car on the way to school the next morning with my grandma. Then I'd, like, pull it in. I'd be like, I got a B+. Like, I literally did this in the last 7 hours.
My favorite was those were like science fair projects, which you have had to, like, build, like, actual, like, you got to do the hypothesis. You got to do all this.
You actually do trial and error.
You got to do trial and error.
You just lied about the whole thing.
And do the experiment. Not only. Well, can I get reverse expelled from a school? Or
retroactively punished?
Can they take my high school diploma away at this point if I say that I might have taken a couple of assignments that are already posted on the internet?
Unlimited possibilities.
Put it on my own board. We won't talk about that. It's all hypotheticals. Dub Nation, we're talking about you. The preseason is right around the corner, and 95.7 The Game is tipping things off in style. Join us at Pier 39 this Saturday, October 4th, for a Warriors preseason special you won't want to miss. Live appearances from Warriors favorites such as Festus Ezeli, Zaza Pachulia, Kalena Azubuike, Tim Roy, and our very own Bonte, plus your chance to win tickets to the first preseason game on Sunday, October 5th, as the Warriors host Luka Doncic and the Lakers. If that's not enough, Evan Giddings and Guru will be broadcasting live from 12 to 4. It's hoops, it's hype, and the season's almost here. Your station for everything Warriors, 95.7 The Game, and your station for everything 49ers is on the other side, because we got Brian Baldinger, Baldy Breakdowns, brought to you by Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water.
What makes Crystal Geyser Alpine Spring Water different? We always bottle our Alpine Spring Water less than 1.5 miles from the spring source, and all our bottles are made with 50% recycled plastic from our own recycling plants. Crystal Geyser, bottled at the spring source.
Ready for the ultimate red and gold game day? Laughing Monk Brewing is the place to park, party, and ride. Skip the traffic. Forget the expensive parking. Park for free and dive into an epic tailgate with mouth-watering food, ice-cold Laughing Monk beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show with Lorenzo Neal and Evan Giddings. Then hop on the free shuttle minutes away from the stadium. Shuttles are first come, first served. So head to 957thegame.com to sign up and join the party.
When you own your own business, you own every decision.
Catch the red eye or take the 6 a.m.
Make a new hire or promote internally.
Celebrate a win with the toast at the gate or unwind at the lounge. Big props to this team.
Some decisions are a win-win, like earning 8 times points on Chase Travel. Introducing Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business. With $2,500 in annual value, it's the business card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank and a member of FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
We finally switched to T-Mobile because with them, we can be connected here and there.
¡Listos todos! Estas son las mañanas.
Now we just need to harmonize.
Switch today. Get 4 Samsung Galaxy S25 phones with Galaxy AI. Plus, get 4 lines for just $25 per line. Visit a store, T-Mobile.com, or call 1-800-T-Mobile. 1-800-T-Mobile. For well-qualified customers with autopay plus tax and fees and $35 per line connection charge. Minimum 4 lines on plan. Contact us if canceling lines. Plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Boost your day at Whole Foods Market. Get 30% off all packaged coffee with Prime through September 30th. Grab your favorite beans for a delicious morning brew. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
On Saturday, October 4th, Pier 39 is throwing a party right on the waterfront. Now our iconic views and bay breezes come with drinks to go. Grab a cocktail, mocktail, beer, or wine from one of our restaurants and take it with you as you explore the pier. Plus, live music, party games, sea lions, fun for the whole family. What more could you ask for? Enjoy dancing, street performers, special deals, and that one-of-a-kind Pier 39 flavor. We're bringing the atmosphere, you bring the crew. Pier 39, Pier for the fun. Learn more at pier39.com/entertainment zone.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and autopay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Something special for your outdoor living is on sale now at Dolan's. It's fiber-on decking for easy, carefree living. Why choose this durable composite? There's an amazing choice of colors. The rich look of multi-chromatic exotic hardwood. It resists splintering, rotting, and cracking with really low maintenance. See the colors and learn more at dolanlumber.com. Fiber-on decking. On sale at Dolan's Home Improvement Centers.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. Stroke risk may increase. Eliquis can cause serious and potentially fatal bleeding. Don't take if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or bleed longer. A spinal injection increases blood clot risk, which may cause paralysis. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding or bruising, or back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, or incontinence. Aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
When your reputation's on the line, you don't leave anything to chance, especially your primer. Painters trust Kills primers for a smooth start, strong adhesion, and serious stain-blocking power. And now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same-day or next-day delivery, or order online and pick up in-store. Kills primers. Pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Join 95.7 The Game at Pier 39 for a special live broadcast from 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturday, October 4th. Meet Zaza Pachulia, Festus Ezeli, Kalina Azabuki, Tim Roy, and Bonte Hill. Plus, enter to win Warriors tickets. For more info, visit 957thegame.com.
He didn't indicate it to me at all during the game. I talked to him on the phone last night, and he said it was starting to bother him a little bit last night. Nothing during the game at all.
Morning roast, Bedoni Chasky. That damn snort's gonna kill me.
I love bicycles.
I don't know the context of that one. That was Kyle Shanahan on his weekly media conference call, and it was early. It was during our show, actually, and obviously everything's kind of pushed up now in regards to Thursday Night Football this Thursday, taking on the Los Angeles Rams for the first time this season at SoFi Stadium. And is Brock going to play? Right there, you heard it. Complaining about his toe late last night, yesterday morning. The more I think about it, the more and I said it before, and I'm not the I told you so guy, Joe. He shouldn't have started.
Hell no.
Shouldn't have started. And I'm not going to keep running on that tangent because it's not going to get me anywhere. But the fact that in the estimated practice report, the injury report, if you will, because the Niners did not practice yesterday, but they have to send out an estimation on what the report would have looked like. Here you go. Mac Jones, quarterback, knee, would have been a full participant yesterday. Which tells me he would have been fine enough. If he was going to be a full participant in practice yesterday, he could have been a full participant in starting the game on Sunday. That's what that tells me. Now, he looked fine after the game when he was chopping up with former Jags players. He had a big smile on his face, was walking fine. Who knows, Joe? Hindsight's always 20/20. We'll never officially know if that was the case. But it got me thinking, did Brock feel some sort of pressure to just get back out there? Given recent history that Mac was looking good, he was antsy to get back out there. When he told this training staff, hey, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Get me out there. I'm running. They got the steel plate in the foot. I'll be fine. And maybe he overestimated his own abilities, and it got worse as the game went along. That's absolutely a possibility. But the more I think about it, and the more I'm watching and looking at this upcoming game on Thursday, I don't think Brock's going to play. If I was a betting man right now, I'd say he doesn't. Not to say I'm not reporting anything. I don't think he's going to play. You have the injury designation on Ricky Pearsall. Would not have participated yesterday. Brock Purdy toe would not have participated yesterday. Juwan Jennings, again, this is the practice report. That would have been an estimation because the team did not practice. They have to submit it. Juwan Jennings would not have participated yesterday due to an ankle/rib. Yetur Gross-Mato, stop me if you've heard this one before, would not have participated. CJ West would not have participated. They have injuries everywhere. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, I don't know how they're going to do this. They have to. They have to find a way to lick their wounds, get up off the mat, and get ready for, one of the tougher matchups that they're going to face all year.
This season. This is going to be the toughest test that they've had all season.
To this point.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
We don't know what lays ahead. But yeah, there's no doubt. And the Brock thing, it's always funny when I hear people on air, okay? When we're in the kind of the critique, analysis, opinion business. When I hear people it's not my job to assess whether Bob Melvin should come back. No, that literally is our job, is to talk about it. That's what the fans want us to talk about. Do you think the guy's doing a good job or not? Should he be back? Would you hire someone else? No, should you stick with him? No, that's why we're tuning in. I want your insights on it.
I'm not a journalist. I am a commentator. That is what I am. I am
analyzing.
Yes.
So when I hear people say it's not my job to determine who's healthy and who's not. No, but I am watching the game and I'm saying he looks kind of compromised, right? And if that didn't cross your mind, are you a sports fan? What? Name a person who hasn't watched a game when a pitcher is pitching and you go, the guy's losing command. He's losing arm strength or whatever, and he needs to get yanked. We do this in every single sport. Yep. This lineup sucks, Steve Kerr. Go to something else.
You see a basketball player. He keeps coming up short every time. He's clearly exhausted, right?
Exactly. Yeah. To my eyes, it just looked like Brock was compromised. He didn't look good. That doesn't excuse some of the decision-making, the throws. He didn't play good. Both are true, right? He looked compromised. He didn't play good. I thought he was also rusty, right? Which is another element, he's barely practiced, right? Think about this. Joe, he's barely played this year, so I don't think he has any good feel or rhythm. They haven't had a lot of full participants in terms of the whole team. He's barely been out there with Juwan Jennings because he missed all of training camp. This has been a tough go for 6 or 7 weeks for this entire team, Brock included. And I thought he had a poor game. I also thought he was hurt. I think both are true. But this thing that we have to cape up for individuals or just run individuals out of town, no one's doing that. We're analyzing the game. I saw PFF put out a bunch of grades regarding the offensive line.
And remember, Pro Football Focus grades are law, by the way. So we have to say whatever it
smarter
is.
than you.
They are so much smarter than us.
I think it's a tool. I think we can all agree. Like, it's a tool.
Sure.
Like, just like I think Baldy's a tool. We bring Baldy on. I don't have
Cut
to.
that. Yeah, there you go.
No,
Continue.
I mean like in a good way. I don't mean it like that.
Kidding,
Like,
I know.
Like in like he's a part of the tool belt. Like he helps inform us some more. So like PFF put out all these grades about offensive line, run blocking and pass blocking. I think they've been okay as pass blocking. I don't think they've been great as a run blocking team. That doesn't mean that I understand. Like I'm Chris Kocurek, the O-line coach, the intricacies of the zone blocking system and who should hit who and when and how well. I'm just going off the naked eye. Well, and it just feels like right now they really miss George Kittle in the run game, and they really miss him as a pass-catching threat. It feels like the offensive line isn't necessarily making a lot of holes for McCaffrey. Maybe he's not hitting the holes the same way. I don't know. Everything looks a little off right now when it comes to the offense. So thank God we're 3-1.
Well, everything looks off right now because you can't run the ball. Now, part of that is, as you mentioned, no George Kittle in the run game. Trent Williams has clearly taken a step back so far this season, and I know you're referencing the PFF grades. And
What was his grade?
I think Trent graded out pretty well. If you guys can get on that in the back, if I'm not mistaken, his pass blocking was like graded like high. Which
I didn't think it was even close to a good Trent game.
Well, no, it's not. And I actually don't think the offensive line, because that was a narrative I kept seeing yesterday. Well, Brock had to start because if Mac was behind this offensive line, he would have had no chance. No, I actually didn't think the offensive line was that putrid. Now, Josh Hines-Allen had a game. Eric Armstead late had a moment. There was moments in there for sure. But I didn't you still had a chance to win towards the end here. I don't want to get that twisted. I thought the defensive line was atrocious. I think he had 0 QB hits or sacks. That was the problem. By the way, Brian Baldinger, 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Baldy breakdowns, 5 minutes.
I think the part that's really alarming for me is that in a lot of phases of the game, the Niners looked off. Their special teams has been a problem.
Trent Williams is the highest graded offensive lineman this past week. So
he was the highest graded on the entire team.
The entire team. Okay. The entire team, not
No, on the 49ers, he had a 78.4 overall, and his run block grade was 82.3.
There you go. But in comparison, I thought it was the league.
It was the highest on the team this weekend.
Okay. Got it.
Again, I'm not saying it's the end-all, be-all. I'm also not saying it means nothing. It's something. It's a tool. My eyes told me that the left side, because I charted left and right side runs, just wasn't breaking a lot of holes. Getting back to the team. In what phase right now do they look good? Well, I think the linebacker play has been pretty good through the first couple games. I think in this game, maybe it took a slight step back. D had a really poor penalty that set up a field goal.
He's on the injury report, the estimated injury report as well with a knee.
That's not great.
He would have been a limited participant had they practiced yesterday.
And I thought, Siegel a couple of times in space, Pinnock a couple of times in space, took some bad angles. Clearly, Luter was getting picked on a little. They were laying off guys and I think, to me, the most alarming part of the defense, you went up against the Jacksonville Jaguar offensive line that I couldn't name one guy. And then they lost their right tackle.
Yeah.
And you didn't even touch Trevor Lawrence. So that's something that is a very, very poor indicator if that's what's to come for the rest of the season. They have got to find a way to generate pass rush.
And we knew it was going to be a challenge, right? Like we knew you lose Nick Bosa, you don't replace a guy like that. And what Nick Bosa means for those other players, more importantly, because it's one thing, Joe, Nick Bosa himself, against the run, getting his sacks, getting the pressures, him on his own and commanding a double team at time. But like I just said, commanding a double team opens up things for the Michael Williamses, the Bryce Huffs, these other guys that can make plays. So when he's not out there, it's a trickle-down effect. It's not only losing the player, but you're also losing some spots for other guys that they would normally have one-on-one matchups. They're getting double teamed now. They're getting stuffed. But I didn't hear Michael Williams name once on Sunday. Once.
Which all true. But I stepped back and I watched the game. Psycho. I watched the game the third time. I thought the defense got some stops. I actually thought they played better than I thought in real time. Now, they gave up some chunk runs, very specifically, and it could have been worse if it weren't for some penalties. The Jaguars were kind of a pre-snap mess.
Yeah, their game plan, like Jacksonville, when you watch back that game, I think they should have destroyed the Niners if they had just leaned on the running game more and ETN instead of 19 carries, give him like 29, have like a traditional McCaffrey game of a couple years ago, I think they would have ran away with this thing, and I think he might have had 200 yards rushing. Well, Seriously.
Brian Thomas didn't get his feet down on a play.
He's sliding out of bounds.
Yeah, there was a variety of questionable things.
10-plus penalties.
But, you have a looter penalty on special teams. You give up a punt return touchdown. You give up a huge kick return right before halftime after scoring a field goal and giving it up. So I look at the defensive and the special team side, and I'm more encouraged on defense than I felt Sunday night, Monday morning, but I'm more down on special teams than I was even on Sunday night, Monday morning. Then I look at the offense, and it's just the run game. I just don't know. I don't know what's going on. And that's the thing I want to ask Brian Baldinger. Like, they used to be able to run to the left side, and I know that Trent was a big part of that. Aaron Banks, who used to be on this team, was a big part of that, but Kittle was also a big part of that. How much do they miss Kittle?
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me? They miss him in the blocking. Right? He is, like, as much as we talk about Christian McCaffrey being the dude, I mean, George Kittle was their best offensive player last year, Joe. He's been one of their best offensive players for quite some time since he's been a Niner. He's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
Just like you don't replace Nick Bosa with one guy, it takes 3 or 4. The same could be said for about George Kittle. I love Jake Tonjes. He showed up last week. Tonjes is actually one of the bright spots I saw last week. And I thought he was going to be out for the game after he got hurt.
I did too.
Right? He had 3 receptions, 58 yards, and a touchdown.
But the other part is a lot of... I'm sorry. The other part is a lot of guys are just dropping balls or running into guys or they're running in the wrong areas. So there's a lot I don't know that Shanahan and Brock would know better. But also there was some decisions that I didn't love from Brock Purdy that I know the all 22 filmites, as I call them, are looking at them and they're like explaining like, this is why you love Brock and he takes this throw. In that game, I thought a more conservative approach overall was probably the prudent thing, considering you're coming back from a major injury and you're not able to scramble and be as reckless as you normally would be.
You ready for Shark Week?
I'm born ready for Baldy.
Let's do it. And he's presented by our proud partner, Golden State Lumber and Showroom, serving the Bay Area for 3 generations. Building better starts with Golden State. When you succeed, we succeed. Visit goldenstatelumber.com. And as always, he is a guest on this station, and all guests on 95.7 The Game appear on the River Islands guest line. Isn't it time for you to discover the islands, River Islands in Lathrop? Baldy, we'll bring you right into the conversation we were having. Obviously, the Niners play on Thursday Night Football this week, so they had their... if they had practice yesterday, which they didn't, they had a practice report estimation. And, you have about, I want to count like 10 plus names on this thing compared to the Rams 5. And one of those names is Brock Purdy, and the injury designation, obviously toe. And he would not have participated yesterday. And let's start there. It's a quarterback-driven league. Let's start with the quarterback. Baldy, what did you see from Brock on Sunday in that loss to the Jags?
The interceptions are disappointing. I mean, nobody wants to throw interceptions. The throw to McCaffrey was just an aggressive throw on 1st and 10. It was right. I think it was right after the 31-yard shot to Pearsall, and it was 1st and 10. I thought he could have just checked it down to Juice or Tongas over the middle, but he saw McCaffrey breaking and he took a shot. McCaffrey got his fingers on it. Like that one, he didn't have to do that. So but that's kind of who he is. He's going to be aggressive. I kind of understood it, but then it wasn't the best throw. It sailed on him a little bit. It's a tough throw. And then the other one, I don't think he saw Devin Lloyd over the middle. He was going to Jennings. I just don't think he saw Lloyd. Lloyd really had no work on his side of the field. And he was just looking at the eyes. And then he jumped the route. And I'm not sure that he saw him. And I just thought, even the first play of the game, he's got Juice leaking out of the backfield. And, he kind of shorted it on him. I mean, Juice might still be running. I just thought there were some plays left on the field that even made a difference in that game.
Yeah, Baldy, I thought the ball placement was like a hallmark of his. hitting a guy in stride so he can turn up field. And it just looked like to me, you referenced that first play of the game, he just looked a little ginger on that foot. And I don't want to use that as an excuse, but he just didn't look like himself for a variety of reasons. Do you think it was rust, the foot? I don't know. Like, why was that? Why did he look so like?
Well, he was like on that first throw. He was under a little pressure, but I can't. We can't. You throw with your legs.
Yeah.
And so we just don't know what that really feels like. I mean, turf toe is like, I'm sure they numbed it up. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to project here, but it's a bad injury. It's ended people's careers. And it's varying degrees of it. And I'm sure that it didn't feel great after the game, but it's one of those injuries where you can't really stop thinking about it because it just doesn't go away. It's there, it lingers. And so I don't know, Joe, it's not fair to be overly critical if deep down he's like, man, I'm like 90% and I can't push the way I want to push to drive a football to juice on the other side of the field. And I can't get what I want to get on the ball. And it kind of dies on him and juices have to almost like go backwards to catch it. So, I mean, that's one throw, but I mean, he made a lot of good throws in that game too. But I just thought, Jacksonville, they won the turnover battle, man. I mean, that you win the turnover battle at that degree, you're going to win the game.
Well, I'm glad you bring up turnovers because, I'm telling people, I'm like, one of the themes since the Baltimore game and Christmas a couple of years ago, it's just the touchdowns and the turnovers are too closely aligned. It's like a 1-to-1 ratio. Going back to the start of last year, he's 7-10. The team is with him as a starter, and he's got 29 total touchdowns, 5 rushing of those 29, and he's got 16 interceptions and 8 fumbles. Have you noticed something different from his play regarding the turnovers, or is that just an outlier?
Well, I mean, so many of those turnovers now over the last 2 years, 20 games, 21 games, is, just the talent around him isn't as good, and every quarterback is only as good as the talent around him. I mean, there's very few guys that can just, maybe Joe Burrow, maybe there's a couple, but, you look at Baker and how he plays with what he has around him. You look at what Jalen Hurts, how he plays and how he doesn't turn the ball over with the guys around him. I mean, it's a total team game, and the talent isn't anywhere near what it was 2 years ago on that field right now. Ayuk just go through the list of guys, Aaron Banks, whatever. Like, it's just not as good around Brock Purdy right now. And that's part of it. Like, he's not getting just clean looks and guys winning one-on-ones and receivers, beating their best corner the way Ayuk did 2 years ago, or Kittle popping free. Like, they just don't have those guys on the field right now.
Talking to Brian Baldinger here on the Morning Roast, our Odyssey NFL insider. Baldy joins us every single Tuesday. I was going to say every single day. I wish he was every single day. Every Tuesday at this time. Baldy, a big part of this too, right, is the lack of complementary football. I mean, this is a bottom 5 rushing offense right now by a lot of the metrics, which is crazy. A Kyle Shanahan offense is bottom 5 in rushing after the first 4 weeks. What do you attribute that to?
Well, I mean, they're not getting some of the plays that they are used to running, I broke it down one time, forget about all the motions and shifts. They basically run 5 plays. They run outside zone, inside zone. They run power. They run a wind back play. I mean, it's based in a set of different formations and sets and things like that. But it all, like I always said, that no matter where the run started, it would end up behind Trent. And Trent's still a good player. He's not the dominant player that we have seen in San Francisco. He's giving up pressures. He's not the same run blocker. And they're missing Kittle, who blocked the edges better than anybody in this business. But, they're not getting I think McCaffrey's running hard, really hard, but they're just not getting the type of cutback lanes that they're used to getting, where it's just space and they just get these wide open prairies to run behind. There's, it's kind of clogged up in the middle. I don't think Pooney is playing as good as he did as a rookie right now for whatever reason. So they're not as good up front. They got a 7th-round pick at left guard right now that's trying to learn how to play the game. So they're not as good up front. I think that's where it starts.
You were referencing Trent Williams as a whole, and he's just not what he was maybe beforehand. I think a lot of people feel the same way about Christian right now. I think, Christian looks better than maybe the 2024 version, but it doesn't feel anything close to 2023. What are you seeing from Christian McCaffrey right now?
I thought I would see I would see more explosive plays from him. I thought he was getting close. A couple of weeks ago, I said, I think he's going to break one. I thought he was getting ready, and he hasn't. And that's been his hallmark. His hallmark is, 8-yard run becomes a 28-yard run. Like, we're not seeing the explosive plays. He's catching the ball great. He's heavily involved in the passing game. But we haven't seen that 4-yard run, 20-yard run. We just haven't seen that. And I don't know if that's him, if that's the explosive step that's not there that he needs. He's still breaking tackles, probably not as many as he did to get to those runs that he did in 23. I mean, if you think about that first game, I think it was 2023, they were in Pittsburgh, and he opened up the third quarter, and he took that shot on the left side, and he finished it. That set the tone for a whole season. I don't know why. I remember I was there announcing the game that day, but I actually got some goosebumps just thinking about that, because that was McCaffrey against a good defense. I think he made, Minka miss, and, he's running through arm tackles, and he finishes it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we're not going to see that again. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Baldy, I feels like to me the most explosive player on offense has been Ricky Pearsall, and I know that he's dealing with a knee thing right now. He had Travis Hunter on him. He did a little some sort of a curl or a comeback. Boom, simple little first down. And then he made an unbelievable acrobatic catch on a slightly underthrown ball where he caught it one-handed. But he went down in that game. Obviously, this guy's making plays. He looks like an absolute stud. Is he the only guy that's giving you explosives right now on this offense?
Yeah. But, that play, he beat the corner. I thought Brock should have gone over the top. Now, maybe he just couldn't get it there, but I thought it should have been an over-the-top shot. I don't think they needed to back shoulder that thing. I mean, Ricky just adjusted to the ball, and it made that unbelievable one-handed catch, going to the ground. It was incredible. But he had a step on him. I thought you should just throw the ball over the top and let him go get it and finish in the paint.
Baldy, it feels like the only explosive play that most people can remember is the drop ball by Bourne it was massive, and I don't want to sleep on that. That was absolutely massive.
Yep.
But,
no doubt.
when a hook and lateral play.
He probably, that throw in the middle of the field, he probably finishes that play. There's so much space there to actually score on that play. That he probably scores on that play.
Well, but the only other play that most people can remember, the Pearsall play down the sideline, and the hook and ladder play. There's not a lot of juice right now on offense. How do they get this going, whether it's Brock or Mac?
Well, I mean, if you think about it, honestly, Joe, why do they call the hook and ladder? Because Kyle's seen the same thing. We can't get an explosive play. And explosive plays, I mean, you see Travis Etienne go, 40-something yards for a touchdown. They got their explosive plays. But explosive plays are a direct correlation to scoring. And if you're not getting them, you're not scoring a lot of points. You're not putting a lot of points up if you're not getting those type of plays. And so that's why they call the hook and ladder. We got to find a way to get it. We got to go to some trickeration, some deceptive in order to get a throwback. You watch this week. If they're not getting it, Joe, I guarantee you they'll have a throwback from McCaffrey back to Brock, and do it that way. Wow. Rather than, just, winning by route combinations and, rub routes against man coverage and zone beaters and the things that you could get. But, I mean, honestly, Tongas has been as good as you could possibly imagine, considering where he came from. He's been a find, but they're not, until Ayuk and Kittle get back and Pearsall's 100% healthy, they probably don't have those type of players out there right now.
Does Mac maybe change? Obviously Brock's your guy, but he looks compromised. Does Mac's arm maybe bring a different dynamic to the table? I'm thinking out loud here and trying to find a silver lining for Thursday.
Yeah. Well, it'll be the silver lining is it's a 49er home game at SoFi. So they'll take over the stadium. I mean, that's the silver lining. But, I always thought when San Francisco had the Rams number, and they had it for a long time, that they just physically beat the Rams up in the trenches, no matter who was the quarterback. With Stafford, before Stafford, I just felt like the 49ers were a more physical team, and that's why they won a lot of those games. Now, the Rams, have a defensive front right now that is really talented. They're really good. Jared Verse has had 2 forced fumbles in a row, back-to-back weeks right now. He's a monster. I think their secondary is very average. I know that Cam Curl had a couple interceptions on Sunday, but I think they're very average at the cornerback position. People seem to be going after Emmanuel Forbes, and I would too. A.J. Brown did. Puka did all day long. Like, I would go after number 1 in the Rams secondary from the very first play because they don't have a lot of depth back there either. So I know he's a first-round pick, but I don't know. Like, I just see teams go after him.
Baldy, and we're talking to Brian Baldinger here on the Morning Roast, our Odyssey NFL Insider, courtesy of the River Islands guest line. Baldy, what did you see from the defensive line in this loss this past week? Obviously, no Nick Bosa.
I didn't see anything.
There you go.
I didn't see anything. Honestly, I didn't see great effort. I saw Bryce Huff win a couple of one-on-ones. Bryce probably was the most active guy they had. But when you come out of a game and you don't have a sack, you don't have a quarterback hit, you're like, what did you do? Well, how'd they impact the game? Fred Warner
first time in 10 years. First time in 10 years they haven't done that. No quarterback hits or sacks.
It's unreal. Like, but it's one thing to look at the stat sheet and go, is this a mistake? And then you go watch the tape and you go, no, it's not a mistake. Like, they're not anywhere near the quarterback. But, on the play that Fred Warner strips in the middle of the field, the ball's on the ground. They got 4 defensive linemen that have not even begun to pursue to the football. In fact, all 4 Jacksonville offensive linemen beat 4 defensive linemen to the ball. Like I said on the breakdown of that play, Robert Saleh could get all pissy about what Liam Cohen's doing, whatever. Like, I'd be pissed at my defensive line. Like, that's just like, that's what happens I think that's what happens when you lose Nick Bosa. You lose a guy that knows how to play the game the right way with great talent, but great effort. And you just can't let that slide. The great players in San Francisco have been Bosa and Fred. We know who they are. And they probably are their hardest working guys, George. And you lose a great player and he's not on the field. I don't know if they have another ringleader there, another alpha dog that can show them how to do it.
Baldy, you referenced it. Let's just talk about it. What did you make of Liam Cohen and Saleh yelling back and forth? And what did you make of the comments from Saleh last week about the legal sign stealing from the Jags?
Well, I don't think it should. Like, everybody does this. Everybody. I steal signs watching these games. I'm looking for Aaron Rodgers, little signal to DK Metcalf that we're going to run a smoke route here. I'm stealing signs. I can see banjo calls. I mean, I see all this stuff. Like, everybody, it's a sign language business. Everybody's doing this. I mean, I can tell stories of Buddy Ryan back in Philly with Rex and Rob Ryan doing things. I mean, everybody has done this. It's no big deal. It really isn't. I mean, that's what you should be doing. You should be trying to get every advantage you possibly can. So to make it a public story just seems silly to me.
Baldy, I actually thought that Liam Cohen was excellent in this game, and they made a lot of mistakes just getting lined up and hiking the ball. Like, just straight up, like, setting yourself up. They had a 3rd and 1. They took a delay of game. It was 3rd and 6. They had to burn a timeout. He ended up having a really nice conversion. But on that drive, what I love from Liam Cohen is that on 2nd down, they ran the ball. They were backed up against the end zone after we didn't know if Shanahan took the penalty, declined the penalty, whatever. Instead of it being 3rd and 12, it's 2nd and 17. They run the ball. Then they don't let the Niners sub a 3rd down package, which they want to do, and they run no huddle and then fire that ball to Travis Hunter, which I still don't know whether he caught it or not. I thought their ability to run some no huddle in certain situations was a brilliant wrinkle that Liam Cohen brought to the table that kind of befuddled the Niners' defensive packages.
I tell you, anybody that's been around Liam Cohen, man, he's a sharp guy. He's very sharp. If you think about, he's in Tampa last year, and Tampa couldn't run the ball for 2 years in a row. They were the worst rushing football team in the league. Going back to when Tom Brady, his last year there, they couldn't run the football. They get Bucky Irving. Okay, he's a hell of a back. But they were the fourth leading rushing team in the league last year. Travis Etienne was roadkill the last 2 years. Now he's like, I don't know if he's second in the league in rushing, whatever he is. He's at the top of the leaderboard. Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne. Like, he's resurrected. And they're doing it with Walker Little and Robert Hainsey, and they picked up, Mackay. They're not like first-round picks up there. But they have put together a way, and this Bashul Tootin is going to be a really good player out of Virginia Tech. He's a South Jersey kid. But, they're running the football, and that's what he does. He does it in a variety of ways. But he's going to run it on third downs. He's going to run it when you don't expect him to. And the way that they run it is really it's really crafty, and you really got to study it hard to understand what he's doing.
Baldy, I'm so conflicted as a Niner fan. On one level, it's like, hey, I'm thrilled we're 3-1, right? And then I take a step back and I just look at the injury report and who's going to actually play over the next couple of weeks. Bosa's out for the year. Ayuk, if he plays a couple of games, I'll be surprised. Kittle, still out. I don't even know if he's running right now. I don't know. Purdy, boy, it sure feels like at some point he's going to probably sit out a couple of more games. Jennings, Pearsall. The list goes on and on. You're referencing Trent looks a little older, and Father Time's starting to show its age. CMC doesn't maybe have the same boost that he used to. How should Niner fans attack this next month of the season? Is this the year on the line? Or do we just got to kind of like go 3-3, 4-3, and just see where we're at? I'm feeling really filled with anxiety right now.
Well, I think the days of the 49ers blowing anybody out the way they once did are over. Mac Jones has to take a team down against Arizona and have a perfect drive to go win the game. That's where they're at right now. They've got to do everything right to eke out these victories right now and celebrate whoever it's against, whether it's division opponent, whatever. They had a chance to win that game on Sunday, but they lost it, with the turnovers. They have to do everything right now. It's the days of just play action pass, take our shots, let's attack. You remember the days when they'd be deep in their own zone with 40 seconds to go in the half, and they would attack, and they'd end up getting points. I don't know. It's a different style right now because of the limit of talent that they have out there and who they're playing. Demarcus Robinson is out there right now. What they're going with is it's not the same 49er, star-studded team.
Yeah, and the part that's just so perplexing, they got the right kicker, but they get a field goal before halftime. They give up a huge return, and give them free points with 33 seconds of the. You give up a punt return touchdown after the big drop, literally the next play after the big drop by Kendrick Bourne. You get a personal foul, a late hit on Chase Lucas on special teams. How is the special teams coverage unit so bad? I don't understand it. It's beyond me.
Well, here's the thing. We're seeing more block kicks than we've ever seen, punts and kick and field goals, at a record rate right now. I'm not tracking it, but it feels like it is. It feels like it's every week is deciding these games. But, this new kickoff rule is, honestly, it's winning and losing games for teams. Arizona the other night, they kick off and it lands on the 21-yard line. Next thing you know, the ball's at the 40. Seattle's at the 40-yard line. One play to Jackson Smith and Jigba, and they're kicking the game-winning field goal. I see the Rams. You watch this week. This kicker for the Rams, this guy Cardi, he kicks a knuckleball. All right? Nobody can field it. And the ball's bouncing, and guys are misjudging it, and they're dropping it, and they're covering the kick at the 20 or inside the 20. It happened all day to the Eagles. Somehow the Eagles still won the game. But, they better practice catching a knuckleball because he kicks it like that, and it's on purpose. But, the kicking game, is winning and losing games for people right now. And it used to be like you want to win 2 games because of your special teams, but you definitely don't want to lose 2 games because of your special teams. And you could say the 49ers have already lost a game because of their special teams.
And I can't remember one game where they won it because of their special teams in the Kyle Shanahan era.
Yeah.
No, seriously.
The playoff game against the Green Bay Packers is the only one.
That's the only one. Hufanga.
Yeah,
That's it.
That's it.
That's a great call right there.
They fired that day. LaFleur, I think he fired his special teams coach before they got back into the locker room. I think he was fired that fast.
Baldy, should the Niners start Mac Jones this week? Short week. Brock, if there was practice yesterday, Brock would not have been a participant. Clearly looks and sounds like the toe is bothering him. That's what he told Shanahan after the game on Sunday. That Sunday night, he told him the toe is bothering him. Should they just start Mac Jones?
Well, I'd like to know that conversation, how that went. I mean, because if Brock can go, he's going to go. But if he's limited because it's a short week and he's got a lot of soreness from playing on it, then I would go with Mac. Like I want the healthiest guy out. Mac proved that he can win games and he can run this offense. So it's not to knock Brock, but give me the healthiest guy out there. This defensive line of the Rams can get after you. Like they've got 6 guys that can win one-on-ones. Kobe Turner, you know all the names. So your quarterback movement is going to be important against this front and how they come after you.
One last one for you, Bald, before we get out. Trent had the highest PFF grade on the team. All right. Now, I know PFF, take it or leave it, whatever. What did you specifically, I know you referenced it a little, what did you specifically see from Trent?
Well, I just thought, there was one throw where Brock got, bumped and it affected the throw, and, Josh Hines Allen is coming after him. And I thought he was, Josh is a good player, and he plays hard. Trayvon Walker's a good player. But I thought he was giving up too much ground to Josh Hines Allen, to be honest with you, on a couple of pass rushes. And the type of, I don't care who the player is. Like, Trent normally doesn't give up that much ground. So PFF can grade him another than 1. He didn't give up a sack or anything. But I just thought he gave up more ground than I'm used to seeing Trent give up against a good pass rusher.
Hey, Baldy, where are you at this weekend?
I am in Detroit and Cincinnati this weekend. But when they gave me that game, it was Cincinnati was 2-0, and before Burrow got hurt. So
real quick,
they might have some regrets. But I'll get a chance to look at Detroit here. They look like, they're just, you just have to admire Dan Campbell and how he coaches that football team right now.
I love him. Should the Niners be going after Trey Hendrickson like right now, given that defensive line performance without Nick Bosa?
Well, I don't know if he's available, and I don't know if he can. I don't know if they can afford the contract. But if I would make the phone call if I was John Lynch, I would be calling Cincinnati to see what I could do. I wouldn't be sitting pat with what I have on that team right now. I would be combing this whole league, looking like I would. If you're serious about winning this division with the injuries that they've had, today's Tuesday, I'd have 5 players in there working them out right now.
Hey, Baldy,
they
great
need reinforcement.
Great stuff. They absolutely do. 0 quarterback hits, 0 sacks for the first time in 10 years for that Niners defensive line without Nick Bosa. It's just insane. Baldy will do it again next week, man.
Yep. See you guys. Yep. Enjoy Thursday night, guys.
Let's go. Brian Baldinger leads us to injury.
Bring me back. Bring me back, guys. Bring me back on.
What? Bring him back. He said bring him back.
Bring him back on Friday?
What'd he say?
Let's do it. Was Baldy injured too via the injury report?
What was he saying?
I think he's saying bring him back.
No, what I was saying is with the 49er victory on Thursday night, bring me back on Friday morning. Let's talk about it.
I'm ready.
Hey, you don't have to tell me twice, Baldy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My wife will be in New York, and I'll be with the little guy by myself all night, so I'll be very sleepless in San Francisco.
I know you'll be charting every single play, Joe.
I'm
sure
a psycho.
There he goes, Brian Baldinger.
I learned through you, Baldy. You're the best.
He's the best. Ricky Pearsall, by the way, has a PCL injury. There you go. Head coach Kyle Shanahan said that Pearsall is dealing with a PCL injury in his right knee, but the hope is that it's minor. Pearsall was a non-participant on the 49ers' hypothetical practice report yesterday. No official determination has been made for Ricky's status for Thursday night's game. The injury report was brought to you by Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years. What's coming up in the game is brought to you by Fremont Bank. Here for you, here for good. We'll react to what Baldy had to say with our next guest, who joins us every Tuesday at 8 o'clock in studio. It's the one, the only, Bonte Hill on 95.7 The Game.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Boxer & Gerson, Northern California's premier workers' compensation law firm, helping injured workers get their lives back for over 40 years.
You hear that? That's the sound of your business losing money. Legacy phone systems weren't built for today's teams. Quo, formerly OpenPhone, gives your business a smarter way to stay connected. Quo lets you manage calls, texts, voicemail, and contacts all in one place so that you can deliver a seamless customer experience from ring to... Need to take calls on the go? Quo automatically transcribes, summarizes, and highlights next steps from every call so you never miss a detail. Need insight into what closes a sale? With Quo's AI call tags, you can instantly spot key topics like objections or pricing questions and use those insights to level up every customer interaction. And yes, you can bring your existing number with you for free. Keep your team in sync and your customers happy with Quo. Quo. No missed calls, no missed customers. Try Quo for free at quo.com/sports and get 20% off your first 6 months. That's quo.com/sports. QUO.com/sports.
Today, we're constantly taking photos and videos to remember our favorite moments. But what about those captured before the smartphone? What about the memories tucked away on aging VHS tapes, film reels, or in fading photos?
These cherished memories are fading away with time, vulnerable to threats like heat, moisture, and mold. But fear not, there's a solution to safeguard your legacy. Hi, I'm Adam.
And I'm Nick. Together we founded Legacy Box over a decade ago with one mission, to bring your memories into the 21st century.
It's time to bid farewell to old tapes you can't watch and faded photos. Legacy Box transforms them into digital treasures, ready to share with a click.
Just like magic, your shoebox of memories is now safely stored in the cloud or on a thumb drive.
Over 1 million families have trusted Legacy Box, so you can rest assured your priceless moments are in good hands.
Don't let your childhood fade away on old tapes. It's time to digitize those priceless moments.
Fast forward into the digital age. Visit legacybox.com/value and unlock 50% off your order. That's legacybox.com/value.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WEBNOW1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ-FM and HD1 San Francisco on Odyssey Sports Station and the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries. Always live on the free Odyssey app and now coming to you live from the Laughing Monk Studios.
Rise. Wake up! It's time to wake on up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. With a nice cup of Joe.
What's up, Joe, bro?
Featuring Joe Spadoni.
He's an Italian.
And Joe, the Butcher Boy Shasky.
I am slippery.
Oh!
The best part of waking up is morning roast in your cup.
It is the Morning Roast, man, on 95.7 The Game.
Oh, we are halfway home here on what is just an absolute insane time in the Bay Area sports landscape. Bob Melvin out as San Francisco Giants manager. Warriors Media Day yesterday. A lot of questions about a guy that's not even there, and Jonathan Kuminga. Steph Curry had to talk about it. Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, they all talked about it. And what is going to be going down on Thursday Night Football, where the Niners are heading down to L.A. at SoFi Stadium to take on the Rams, who are 3-1 as well, with a massive win over the Colts. Is it going to be Brock? Is it going to be Mac Jones? Who knows? We'll be monitoring it all week long leading up to Thursday. But right now, it's 8:03, a couple minutes after. We just had Baldy on, and that means it's time, courtesy of the River Islands guest line, for the king himself. Quiet down. Bonte Hill, ladies and gentlemen, in studio for the next 2 hours, every single Tuesday at this time. And you just heard that you were, I saw you get there a little bit early, Bonte, so you got to hear some of what Baldy had to say with us. And before I could even finish my sentence, what stuck out to me was his just absolute distaste for what he saw from the defensive line and the lack of effort on that forced fumble specifically from Fred Warner. Good morning, Bonte.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. And yeah, we could start there. I'm a little surprised we're starting there, but the defensive line, and this is what we talked about last week. When you have a Nick Bosa, who, whether you think he's a top 5 defensive end or pass rusher or whatever it is, you have to game plan for him. And the fact that Jacksonville did not have to game plan for him. And all of a sudden, there's more attention on Bryce Huff. There's more attention on Michael Williams. There's more attention on Sam Okuanu and Alfred Collins, whoever else is rushing the passer, not to get a quarterback hit or a sniff on Trevor Lawrence and give up the run game. And that was one of the biggest worries for me going into the game was Travis Etienne entered the game averaging 5.9 yards a carry. Not a lot of people are talking about Travis Etienne. He's having a resurgence. And so to be able to run the ball and be balanced and then not allow your quarterback to get touched, it's a very underrated offensive line in Jacksonville. All the metrics and everything say they're a top 5 offensive line. So, yeah, reinforcements are going to need to come, as Baldy said.
But they lost their right tackle in the middle of that game, and we're playing a backup. Like, I hear you, but it was just bad. I mean, and then they missed a lot of tackles, it felt like, overall. I thought there were some poor angles on the big touchdown play. Like, Pinnock's got to get a body on him. Like, he's got to get a body on him.
On the Travis Etienne touchdown run? Well, I also thought D. Winters ran to the wrong hole. I thought he shot the wrong gap. And you could see it at the end where the camera pans to him. He knew that he shot the wrong gap. Now, on the same time, on that play, Michael Williams has got to do a better job of funneling Travis Etienne inside. Travis Etienne was able to get outside and break containment, and D. Winters shoots the wrong gap, and then you know Travis Etienne's in the end zone doing a dance. So, look, their offensive line, I know the backup was in there for a little bit, but you look at the pass rushers, who do you fear on this defensive line right now?
No.
And now you have Matthew Stafford on the Thursday night. You want to give him a lot of time? He's lighting it up right now. So, it's problems right now for the defensive line. They need reinforcements in a hurry.
Well, and like if Renardo Green's not going to play in this game, you know, they got 2 receivers. I mean, Puka's very difficult to stop, obviously, and then you got Devontae, and you're asking yourself, like, all right, well, how are you going to utilize the one player who is healthy in that secondary, who's playing pretty good, is Diamonor Lenore? You know, are you going to have him shadow one of these guys? He doesn't really do that a whole lot. So, like, I don't know, man. I think this is a tough one.
Yeah, you know, before we go all doom and gloom, because I'm sure I already knew once the game was over, I've been in this business for a while.
You're 3-1. What doom and gloom?
That's
You're
what I'm
fine.
saying. No. But we know the temperature around here. Come on.
Well, there's a lot of injuries.
I was listening. Yeah, exactly.
It is true.
This guy just told Baldy he's got anxiety. So nobody knows.
Bosa's out for the year.
Listen, I
Kittle
get
is
it.
currently out. Purdy is dealing with, obviously, a foot injury. Your 2 starting wide receivers that aren't Ayuk, Jennings and Pearsall, are both up in the air right now. Like, I think this is a pretty healthy fear of the reality of the situation.
That's fine.
They have 12 people on the hypothetical injury report.
Look,
oh my God.
Look, man, you look at these first 9 games, and this is something that when you have a lot of new players and you have these injuries coming into the season, I wanted 5-4 after 9 games. Because 6 of the first 9 are on the road again. And this whole easy schedule talk, schedule's easy. Well, how does the back-to-back on the road look in Houston and New York? It doesn't look easy. There's no easy games in the NFL. And so they're 3-1, and I'm sure they could be 1-3. You could say that about Dallas. You could say that about Green Bay. You could say that about a number of teams in this league. I get it. They're 3-1, and reinforcements will come. It's just how quickly will they come? So even if you lose this game against the LA Rams, you're 3-2. You get a nice little extended bye week. They moved the time up to Tampa Bay, so now you're playing a 1:25 kickoff instead of a 10 a.m. kickoff. And by that time, you should have Kittle back.
Well, you don't know. We haven't heard of him running or anything.
I'm saying you should have him back. Should have him back. So I'm not going to freak out quite yet because we got a long way to go. Long way to go. A lot of teams are going to get beat up, but I get it. The injuries are kind of just, wow, Pearsall's hurt. Juwan Jennings got a rib issue now after getting cracked in the end zone. Purdy, your franchise quarterback's got a toe issue, and he uses his mobility, which helped him get back in that game against Jacksonville. And then, of course, the Bosa injury. You can't account for that. No, you can't account for that.
I don't think there's a way to make that up.
You got to somehow generate a pass rush, whether you're blitzing or whatnot. But I do have faith in John Lynch in saying, I'm not going to stand by this. I'm not just going to watch this thing over and over and over where you don't get a quarterback hit. So I think they will trade for somebody. And should they trade for somebody? Why not? Because they can take on any contract. At this point, it's going to be prorated anyway. Yeah. So I know a lot of people want Trey Hendrickson. Look, Cincinnati and Mike Brown, do your research on Mike Brown.
They don't trade.
They will wait until the last minute. Think about Raider fans and how they got stuck up for Carson Palmer. They waited until the last second to trade Carson Palmer.
You Jack City.
So, look, I don't know if Trey Hendrickson is going to be available for this team, but could there be other players? I don't know. But, look, they're 3-1 right now, and they just got to get healthy. That's the biggest thing.
Well, and the biggest thing right now, speaking of health, is the quarterback, and you mentioned him, Brock Purdy. What did you see, Bonte, from Brock? And first, before we even actually get to that, did you think he should have started this game?
Well, Mac Jones was beat up. Mac Jones couldn't move.
Mac Jones would have been a full participant according to this hypothetical injury report yesterday.
But he's got a PCL injury.
Going into last week.
Yeah, sure.
He couldn't even. He was limping off the field against Arizona after he scored 16 points.
He was limited. Right? Yeah.
He was limping. He couldn't even get a handoff to Christian McCaffrey. Remember that?
I do.
He fell over. He couldn't move. So if he's banged up and Purdy's 75, 80%, do you want to go Adrian Martinez? That's what we're looking at here. No, you want to go Adrian Martinez?
I would have rather gone, if both of my quarterbacks are banged up, I'd rather go with the guy not making $100+ million.
Mac Jones would have got killed in that football game.
I disagree.
He would have got killed in that football game.
I completely disagree.
He can't move.
I do think there's
Purdy couldn't move most of that game.
Purdy, when they got back in the game down 26-14, Purdy started playing street football, moving around the pocket, running around and whatnot. His mobility may have been limited, but it's a lot better than Mac's. Behind that offensive line, yes. Mac Jones would have got destroyed against that football team in Jacksonville.
Disagree. I think his arm talent would have been far superior than what I saw from Brock Purdy on Sunday.
They would have been hunting Mac Jones in that pocket. That pocket was not clean on Sunday.
Are you worried about Brock Purdy? I mean, clearly the foot is a thing he's dealing with, and it's not going to get healthier if he continues to keep playing. And I know they got a 10-game stretch. If they can, whatever happens Thursday, you got about 10 days until Tampa Bay. It's worrisome, like the Purdy foot thing. I don't know how else you're going to get him right without sitting him.
It's turf toe. And we know how turf toe deal. We see Charles Woodson deal with it. Deion Sanders deal with it. Turf toes
could end careers.
I don't know if it end career.
Well, it can alter how you play.
Really just told us it ends careers.
Yeah, but I don't know if it. I've seen a lot of guys with turf toe come back and play. But it is a lingering injury. It's a lingering injury.
So what do you do with him?
You got to tough it out. If he's got to tough it out. Who gives you the better chance to win football games and go deep into the playoffs?
Well, when he's healthy, it's him. But I don't think he's healthy, and I think it is compromising some of his play.
Well, I thought a lot of it was rust. He's selling, not playing. You didn't play until Seattle, and think about it. This is why you got to play preseason. I was off the preseason hype, but after listening to Jerry and listening to a lot of former players, I think they're right. You need to play in the preseason. Purdy not playing a lot of preseason, then you get thrown into Seattle. And he had his ups and downs in Seattle. So
he didn't look good than
bad. It was more good than bad, but you could say it's rust. Then you miss 2 games. Then you come back against Jacksonville against a very good defense. The defense is good. We're going to get to the coaches and everything. I respect what Jacksonville's doing. I think there's a lot of soft people involved with the 49ers who are kind of ripped, but we'll get there. I'll let you guys know about that. I think a lot of it was rust early on, and then he was just selling balls, and it's not good. It's not good. So was it health permitted? He admits that Shanahan admitted yesterday they're saying, hey, I got a call from Brock Purdy, said his toe was sore. Maybe that was after the game. Maybe they shot it up with Toradol, and he was able to get through the game. But he was not good on Sunday. There's no sugarcoating it. He made bad throws, and he sailed a lot of balls. And when I was watching him, especially in the third quarter, I said, is that Jimmy Garoppolo? I mean, it was car accidents in the middle of the field, left and right. So, it sucked, but you need him. This is your guy.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. You can sit here and do a sugarcoat job.
I think where Joe's going is like some guys can play through certain injuries. This particular one, for the way that he plays football, really changes who he is. And I think it's a tough one. I don't think it's you play him if he could play it. I think you got to also think like long term about this. Like, is there any chance he can get fully healthy for the remainder of this season? If that's out the window, then you probably are paying him no matter what. But if there's a glimmer of hope that, hey, he sits a month and maybe he's closer to 95%, a month from now, then I think it's something you have to consider.
I don't know if he's going to ever be healthy. Who's 100% healthy in football at this point?
No, I know, but Bonte, like if you're he's not a pocket quarterback. Like he needs to move around a little, and in the pocket, he didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, but I thought he moved around all right because that pass rush was coming. You heard ball. Detroit Williams giving a lot of ground on that offensive line. That offensive line did not play well on Sunday. I don't care what PFF says.
Oh, I'm with you on that.
Like I will watch it back 3 times now. I don't think that offensive line performed well at all. And I thought Jacksonville was hunting. Josh Hydes-Allen was hunting. They got some dudes on that defense. So I thought at times he moved around. The problem with Purdy, and he's been doing this ever since last year when he didn't have McCaffrey, he didn't have Ayuk, he didn't have Debo, and all those guys not playing. He's trying to hit the home run too much. Yeah. Even on the McCaffrey play where I thought he threw the ball high and McCaffrey tipped, he had a guy underneath. Just take your checkdowns and move to 6. Early in the game, first drive of the game, he had Braden Willis in the back of the end zone open. He didn't trust him. I get it. He's Braden Willis, right? It's not George Kittle. How can you trust him? But Purdy had him there, and he didn't pull the trigger because he didn't quite trust it. So he's got to take what the defense gives him, and he's trying to hit the home run too much.
Well, that's frustrating, too, because all offseason and training camp, Bonte, what was he saying he needs to be better at? It's taking what the defense gives him and playing within himself and not trying to do too much, which is what he was doing last year. But at the same time, when you have a bottom five running game, I kind of understand what he's trying to do because he knows that McCaffrey's not going to get anything on the ground. Brian Robinson's not going to get anything on the ground. Like, this is the worst San Francisco rushing attack under Kyle Shanahan I've ever seen.
No, it's not bad. It's not good. I mean, it's not good. And you're throwing the ball 35, 40 times in one-score games. It's not how Shanahan wants to play. It's not how they want to operate as an offense. And so, yes, you're not running the football. But he's just trying to – Purdy's got to stop hitting the home run, and I get why he's doing it. Yeah. I can understand it. You don't have number 85 there. Pearsall gets banged up, and all of a sudden he's out of the game. Jennings is not 100%. Yeah. But on the play to Kendrick Bourne, who just got here, and Kendrick Bourne,
you got to make that play.
He dropped a dime. So that game could flip in so many different ways. So when you got a lot of moving parts offensively, and you're not getting consistent reps with the same guys over and over and over again, and oh, by the way, it was DeMarcus Robinson's first game, and I'm not trying to make excuses for Purdy. Purdy played. He was awful in that football game. I don't want to I'm not going to sugarcoat it. Purdy has got to be better as a franchise quarterback. He's got to be better. But I also understand the human element and saying, boy, I don't have this guy, I don't have that guy. So maybe we're going to overcompensate and try to hit a grand slam here. And he's got to chill off these turnovers, man. That will cost you football games. It almost cost you Seattle, and it obviously cost you against Jacksonville.
Well, and I look at the Jacksonville quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. It's not like he was special. He wasn't wowing me. Talk about a guy, every time I watch him, Bonte, we can have like a minute or two on this. I just come away underwhelmed every single time I watch Trevor Lawrence. Number 1 overall pick. He's got the size, and yeah, he was able to use that on that 4th and short when they got pushed from some of his teammates for that first down when they went for the sneak. But 21-31, 174, 1 touchdown. But the thing that he didn't do, he didn't turn the ball over. And that's what Brock did. And that was what cost him the game. And for the longest time, Trevor Lawrence, a guy that needs to probably play way more than himself, just like Brock, like not the injuries, but the interceptions and the fumbles, like ad nauseum for Trevor in the past. He didn't do that this game. And that was ultimately what lost them.
Well, turnovers, bad coverage skills. You give up 3 points before halftime on the kickoff coverage.
Bad angles.
That's terrible. The punt return touchdown, you give that up. Look, Trevor, I think Trevor's going to be all right this year. I like this Liam Cohen guy. And Brian Thomas Jr.'s got to play better. He's got to catch the football.
Stay in bounds?
Stay in bounds. So I think his receivers have got to be better. I'm really eager to see how to use Travis Hunter moving forward. Brent Strange is a good tight end, man. He's balling right now. You have the running game right now with Travis Etienne. It's alleviating some of the pressure off of Trevor Lawrence. And then there is something. There is something to having constant turnover at offensive coordinators and head coaches. And obviously he had Doug Peterson. They go to the playoffs. He has a good year. And then they regress. And then you got a new coaching staff. So I'm going to give Trevor the benefit of the doubt. Sure, he didn't wow you with anything on Sunday, but he did what he had to do to get a damn victory, which is take care of the football, lead on that running game. And let's not, look, despite the Niners not hit the quarterback and pressure the quarterback, I thought the defense held up well for the Niners. They built but didn't break. It kept them in that football game because Fred was flying around everywhere trying to cause havoc. He almost forced a couple fumbles in that football game. But the hustle on defense, as Baldy pointed out in his Baldy breakdown, not good enough. Your DBs at times missing tackles, not good enough. Bad angles. But I think Trevor, they're going to be a little better. I wouldn't close the door on Trevor Lawrence quite yet.
Well,
I don't think anyone's closing the door. It's just
AFC South is wide open too.
People called him the greatest prospect ever, and that was
we debunked that.
Yeah, I mean it's just not
like John Elway didn't exist.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Andrew
But that's the new media. That's these young kids, which is why we spoke at NorCal Media Day to school these young high school journalists because the Spadonis of the world is saying everything is the greatest thing
Sound
ever.
Like someone else I know. The youth is bad.
No, the youth ain't bad. It's just everything's the greatest thing ever. Oh my God, he's the greatest prospect ever. No, let's
it's
chill.
Okay to say he is considered one of the greatest. That's what we say, but you guys hear what you want to hear. You and Shasky say, no, he said this. This is what he said. Don't put words in our mouths.
One of the greatest is silly when you had Andrew Luck come through and Michael Vick come through and Phillip Rivers come through.
This is where I get frustrated.
We got to stop
It's okay to say multiple people are one of the greatest. It's okay to say that.
Where are we at right now?
You guys are insane.
As a group, where are we at with Trent Williams right now? I thought that they used to run to the left side. Baldy would tell me all the time, Joe, they could play with their right hand tied behind their back because they're a one-handed team. And they would go with Aaron. And I didn't think Aaron Banks was worth $20 million. So I'm not.
Highest graded Niner on offense, by the way, according to Pro Football Focus. Trent Williams.
You believe in Pro Football Focus?
Sometimes, when I want to.
Do you know how they quantify grades?
Yeah, they use formulas and metrics and too big of words for me because I don't understand.
My eyeballs told me he just did not play good.
Yeah, so
and I thought there was a couple of specific spots. They had a 3rd and 3 before the 4th and 2. They ran to the left side, which is like a hallmark play for them. And the play just got blown up. And then he's like jarring with the other team. And I'm like, Trent, what are you doing? I don't know. Trent has been an excellent player for them, but the last 2 years, he has not been as good. He's still solid. He's just not as good as what he was a couple years ago.
He's not in that elite category right now.
No.
Maybe he gets there, but right now, I don't see it. I don't see it.
So you're with me on that?
Well, I've watched the game. I mean, I think everybody sees it, right? And the whole Pro Football Focus, I asked somebody this because the run blocking grades and the pass blocking grades came out yesterday. And we vibed. I've done work for PFF, done videos for them, but I don't believe in their metrics. I don't believe in their method on how to grade. Or
we don't know what the assignment is on a given.
So I asked somebody, I said, I asked somebody in the know, I don't run the question, but I'm curious how PFF grades positions, blocking, etc. How useful is PFF in your opinion? So I got told, hey, they have a team of analysts who watch every game with cross-checkers. It's useful because there are people under the same umbrella and guidelines who watch every play from every game. To me, the grades are nebulous, but it gives a general idea of who's playing well and who's not, though they do not know the assignment of each player. I like it for stats, sacks, pressures, allowed, etc. So they don't know the assignments, and the Niners being the top 5 run-blocking unit, it's a joke to me, but some people run with it like, see, I told you, PFF said the grade. Come on, man. They're not running the ball well. There's not a lot of lanes to run through because teams, and I tell you what, as well as Pearsall's played, is there any team out there right now that fears the 49ers passing game?
No, they're not double-teaming him. They're going to say, he's still being very important right now. He is. But he's not, and this goes back to number 1 wide receiver. We talk about number 1 wide receivers. The guys that are true number 1 wide receivers need to be bracketed by multiple players, and they need to be honored on that side of the field and dictate coverage on the rest of the field. Right now, and it has been for a while, it's 5-man front on the line and then multiple linebackers, and they're saying, we dare you to beat us over the top, which is why the Pearsall play sticks out to me. Pearsall made a great catch. It goes down as a catch. It's a hell of a play by Pearsall. He adjusted to it. That should have been a better play had Purdy led him and threw it over the top over the safety. Like, I thought they might have had 6 on that play. You're talking about home run plays. That's one they want
kind
back.
of threw that off the back foot, kind of felt the rush there and just kind of let it fly. And, you know, in a situation like that, you just got to give your playmaker a chance to make a play.
And Pearsall made a great adjustment.
And Pearsall made a great play.
Incredible.
Sometimes you got to do that, especially when the rush is in your face. So, yeah, throw should be better. But I get it. He's throwing off the back foot. The rush is coming in. And you're just trying to get the ball up there and give your guy a chance to make a play. But to that point, they don't fear the 49ers passing game and their wide receivers, which is why teams are allowing, from the Saints to the Cardinals and now to the Jaguars, go ahead, throw it on us.
Yep.
We do not fear you guys, but we're going to slam your run game and make sure that you are unbalanced, because we know you don't like to be unbalanced, and we're going to slam your run game. So that's why it's hard for me to determine whether or not McCaffrey's lost a step. Is he the same from 2023? Probably not. But it's like, he's just done. He's cooked. Well, he can't be cooked when he's cooking dudes in the pass game all day long. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he has a 5th gear yet, because there's no running room.
Well, and I also think,
he's been their second best receiver. Like,
no,
he might
be their best receiver,
he
right?
Might be.
But I think one of the things that's been frustrating is without George Kittle, you see Juszczyk out there a lot, and he is lining up as a tight end, you know, in a traditional sense. But if I see him motion back and forth, he moves so much before they're going to hike it to just slightly graze a guy in the run game. He's not plowing anyone right now. And I'm not trying to isolate him. He's not the only one, but it just feels very predictable, and teams aren't biting on any of the pre-snap motion stuff. They are standing pat, and they're saying, we are going to dare you to beat our 8 and 9 man boxes.
No doubt. And they can't do it right now. And they cannot do it. And the Rams, you know what they're going to do? They're going to do the same thing. Yep. It's a copycat league. Teams see a game plan. They watch the film. They say, we're going to employ this one. Here we go.
I'm very worried about Verse this week.
Verse, my Florida
State
guy.
He looks like Khalil Mack did way back when.
My Florida State.
The power.
That's a team that could be 4-0. They blew the Eagles game, right?
They should have won that game.
I mean, you get a lot of these teams. So we're not going to apologize for wins.
No.
Because the Cardinals could be 3-1. They could be 4-0. They're 2-2. This thing, that's why it's so important that they started 3-0.
Yep.
You stack those wins. And you know what? Maybe they're going to get so disrespected coming into Thursday Night Football. It's a divisional game. We'll see what happens. Yeah. We'll see what happens. We'll see who suits up.
Even if they drop to, like, I'm just going, extreme here, 3-3. Okay. Even if you drop to 3-3. I had them at 3-3 before the season. It's just how you got there was insane because of the injuries.
I keep saying I'm good with 5-4 after 9. You got 6 your first 9 games on the road. They got the cross-country flight to Tampa Bay. You got Sunday Night Football against Atlanta. It's going to be a pivotal game. That's a swing game.
Yeah. Even Carolina's primetime game, that's their only primetime game.
Right.
That might be their
Sunday
Super Bowl.
Night Football. Carolina? Yeah, that's later down the line.
I'm not trying to hype up Carolina.
They're going to smack Carolina.
But you're going to get their best effort. I'm not saying that's yes, you should win that game, but we act like these teams also don't get fired.
That's why I laugh when everybody says the schedule's easy. Like, what are you watching?
Who knows where the Bears will be?
And that's a problem. I wanted to get into this on the other side. We got too many people who cover the team, and I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but we talk about this team. We don't have any appropriate fear for the opponents. We just think our stuff don't stink around here, and we refuse to give credit to other teams and tip your hat. Sometimes they just kick your ass, and they're better than you. So previewing another team and saying, we're going to just slap them because they're Jacksonville. they're the same old Jaguars. Pay attention to what they're doing down there. They're cooking something good in Duval County.
No, I thought the Jaguars punked the Niners this last week. You saw it from the defensive coordinator getting upset after the game. You saw it from Trent Williams getting upset during the game on the sideline. Then Fred Warner did something. I don't think we talked about it much yesterday. That kind of bothered me. We'll get into that on the other side. Bonte Hill in studio for the rest of this show. Every Tuesday, 8 to 10, Bonte Hill in studio, courtesy of River Islands. We'll also get Bonte's thoughts on Bob Melvin getting the axe from San Francisco. And Warriors Media Day was yesterday. And I saw all the behind-the-scenes little pictures, Bonte, on your story. Steph, Jimmy, Draymond. We'll get your thoughts on all of it. Plus, the man himself, Jonathan Kuminga. And it's going to be brought to you by Moderna.
mNEXSpike COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna has arrived. To learn more and find it near you, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Hey, it's Willard Dibs for Safeway. Enjoy these amazing deals for Safeway members. And as always, save up to 20% weekly on hundreds of exclusive offers with For You on the Safeway app. Here we go. Winner, winner. Chicken dinner. This week's signature: select chicken, split breasts, boneless, skinless thighs, wings, value pack, or Foster Farms fresh and natural whole chicken. Buy one, get one free of equal or lesser value when you buy two.
Add some healthy sides with Hass avocados or green bell peppers. 4 for $5 or just $1.25 each, and wash it all down with Mix and Match Pepsi, 7-Up, Polar Seltzer, or Pure Leaf Tea. Various sizes and varieties. Buy 2, get 2 free when you buy 4 with your digital coupon plus CRV. Limit 2 free items.
As we say on the show, great, let's drink. All right, these and other great digital deals are available in the For You section on the Safeway app. Go to Safeway.com for more details. And as always, we will see you in the aisles.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto-pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Attention taxpayers. If you owe $5,000 or more and have missed another tax deadline, you're officially on the IRS's radar. The IRS has resumed aggressive collections. That means wage garnishments, bank levies, even seizures of your home, car, or retirement accounts. If you owe $5,000 or more and missed the deadline, you're stacking new debt on top of what you already owe. Call Priority Tax Relief now. Their experts fight back fast and are saving their clients millions in tax debt every month.
I owed over $50,000. And they settled it for pennies on the dollar. These guys are as legit as they come.
After speaking on my behalf with the IRS, my entire debt of $25,000 will be eliminated.
Whether you've received collection letters or you're already facing liens and garnishments, call for your free consultation. There are no upfront fees. Priority Tax Relief. Let's make your taxes our priority. Call 800-464-1899. 800-464-1899. 800-464-1899.
Priority Tax Relief.
Americans pay about $5 billion to control termites and repair their damage every year. Many people underestimate exactly how much damage they do. Call Pacific Coast Termite today at 800-PACIFIC for a free home inspection. Certain restrictions apply. No tenting, though. No double bagging your food. No pet sitting. Mention KCBS and get 10% off termite treatments and a 2-year guarantee on their work. Call 800-PACIFIC. 800-PACIFIC or go to PacificCoastTermite.com.
Injured at work? Don't wait. Every day you delay can mean lost wages, delayed medical care, and more stress for your family. At Boxer & Gerson, we fight for people just like you. Construction workers, delivery drivers, factory workers, restaurant staff, hardworking folks who get hurt just trying to earn a living. We won't back down. We get results. You work hard, you deserve real help. Call Boxer & Gerson now at 510-835-8870 or visit BoxerLaw.com. The consultation is free, but waiting could cost you. Boxer & Gerson, justice for workers.
Lowe's knows you've got a job to do, and we help get it done. With the MyLowe's Pro Rewards program, eligible members save more with volume discounts on qualifying orders through a quote of $2,000 or more. Join for free today. Lowe's, we help, you save. Offer can't be combined with any other discount, contract, and/or special pricing. Exclusions, more terms, and restrictions apply. Details at Lowe's.com/terms. Subject to change.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
Welcome to Dugout Radio, the undisputed home of Boomtown baseball.
The Wi-Fi is booming with Xfinity, baby.
Our next caller is Stacy. How do you stay locked in on every pitch and play?
We stream it all live on Xfinity Internet with low lag, 99.99% network reliability, and speeds faster than a base runner beating the throw to home plate.
I stream on my TV, tablets, even my smart fridge. Smart fridge?
With all those games, we gotta refuel.
Stream live baseball with Wi-Fi built for the biggest moments. Xfinity. Restrictions apply. Actual speeds vary, not guaranteed.
Red and Gold Game Day starts at Laughing Monk Brewing. Park for free. Enjoy amazing food, ice-cold beer, and every game on TV. Catch 95.7 The Game's pregame show. Then hop on the free shuttle straight to the stadium. Sign up now at 957thegame.com.
We're back. Spadoni, Shasky, Bonte Hill in studio, as he is each and every Tuesday at this time, 8 to 10. We're talking about it all. We're talking about the Niners' tough loss to the Jaguars. Is Brock going to start this Thursday? Is it going to be Mack? Is it going to be Pearsall suiting up? Juwan Jennings, is he going to suit up? But this is going to be the Niners B team on Thursday in what's going to be the biggest game up to this point against your division rival Rams. Good thing they stashed those 3 wins, though. By the way,
division.
It's doing the huge division wins, right? Against the Seahawks look pretty good, by the way. Dub Nation, because we're talking about it all right now. Dub Nation, Orange and Black Nation, the Giants, everything's happening in the Bay right now.
Did you see what's happening? John Lynch just said on another station that Brock Purdy and Ricky Pearsall are both questionable for the Rams game officially.
I wouldn't play them.
Purdy and Pearsall both questionable.
On a artificial surface, by the way. That is interesting. We'll get into that. I just want to mention this. Preseason's right around the corner. 95.7 The Game is tipping things off in style. Join us at Pier 39 this Saturday, October 4th, for a Warriors preseason special. You won't want to miss live appearances from Warriors favorites. Festus Ezeli, Zaza Pachulia, Kalena Azubuike, Tim Roy, and last but certainly not least, Bonte Hill. Plus your chance to win tickets to the first preseason game, which is going to be on the following Sunday, October 5th, as the Warriors host LeBron James and the Lakers. And if that's not enough, E-Dog, Evan Giddings, and Guru going to be broadcasting live from 12 to 4. It's hoops, it's hype, and the season's almost here. Your station for everything Warriors, 95.7 The Game, Bonte.
Steiny doesn't work Saturdays?
No. Does definitely
Goo doesn't work Thursdays, so
Oh
you know.
my God.
Damn.
I didn't say it, Goo. Goo, I didn't say it.
That's a joke.
I didn't say it, Goo.
Steiny, I didn't say it either.
I got your back.
This a 5-day work week for you, buddy?
You were teasing something before the break. What were you going to get at?
I don't remember. It was like 5 minutes ago.
Disrespecting other teams or something?
I said,
I'm sorry.
We
No.
both said it, yeah.
Oh, the whole Salah Cohen thing.
Okay.
What coach in America wouldn't be upset if you heard an opposing coach say that
at a podium
you're legally stealing signs?
That was a shot. Let's just
thought
call
that
it
was a shot.
That was a
bad look for the
absolute
Niners.
shot.
I thought it was a terrible look for the 49ers, and it's okay to say that. You know, and Shanahan doubled out, said, hey, he's a little sensitive. You don't think they were a little jacked up saying, we put in 24 hours a day effort to get ready for a game, and we're trying to build a program here in Jacksonville, and it could be anybody. And you don't think other teams are looking for advantages? We talk about this in baseball all the time, side stealing. It's prevalent in baseball.
It's
the
basketball.
NBA, basketball.
It's every sport,
You're looking for
Bonte.
hand signals,
Thank
nods. You're
I
looking for
agree.
any little edge. In football, you're looking, okay, if this guy is lined up like this, it's a run play.
A tell.
If this guy's,
Yes.
yeah, exactly. You're looking for any little clue.
Head nods.
So I thought it was just a little strange for Salah to come out like that and say, hey, they're really good at it. They're legally doing it, but they're elite at side stealing. And people are mad on the 49ers side, where I see Sterling Bennett, they're crying. Like, Sterling, dial it down a little bit. You don't need to tweet about every goddamn thing, okay? And trust me, it's not going anywhere. But you don't have to just take shots at Jacksonville for doing. You don't think they're going to be fired up after winning that game, a cross-country flight to go to 3-1?
Huge win for them.
Huge win with their defense and all the takeaways, and we get labeled as cheaters, basically saying we're illegally stealing signs, and that's how we get an advantage? Of course they're going to be fired up about that. So I thought it was a bad look for the 49ers in that aspect, and I thought it was a bad look for some of the fans. Some of the fans said, Jacksonville, you guys are sensitive about this. Wait a minute. If Sean McVay went on that podium and said, Shanahan and Salah, they've been elite at stealing signs. what would we be saying?
Yeah, we would be furious.
We would be hot.
The fact is, Saleh also mentioned Sean McVay when he was going at
Kevin
Liam
O'Connell.
Cohen.
That's why I'm a little worried.
Well, so this is okay.
That's why I'm a little worried.
I went down the rabbit hole on this, and like the final game that he played for the Jets as head coach, the final game he coached, was in London against the Vikings, where Kevin O'Connell destroyed them. They beat him like 27-6 or whatever it was. And he felt some kind of way about something that happened with Kevin O'Connell. Then him and Liam Cohen were both going for that Jacksonville job. And I guess Cohen got Trent Baalke fired because he wasn't going to go there unless he had his hand-selected GM. And so Saleh felt some kind of way. Here's the thing. Even if you feel like that, keep it to yourself. In this situation,
you don't
I didn't think it was appropriate to bring at the podium and then to do it afterwards. I thought it was a bad look for everybody. Man, I laughed at it, like regarding, like I'm gonna mess you up. It was ridiculous.
Great. But people are mad. What, you wanted Liam Cohen to shake his hand?
No,
I understand completely why Liam Cohen. Yeah, it's high stakes football, man. There's a lot of legacy on it. So for him to walk by and not shake his hand, I totally get it. But to say, hey, we're legally stealing signs. They're legally doing that. That's basically saying we're cheating to get an advantage. You don't have to say it without saying it.
I didn't like it.
And then you throw in McVay. I'm a little worried about that.
And then I think about like gamesmanship of like Bill Walsh and Bill Parcells and turning off the headset and two of them going at each other. You wouldn't have Bill Walsh walk up to a podium and accuse Parcells, or Parcells at a podium. They would reference it like, they like to play games, like goofing around, but they wouldn't do the way he did it. I thought was very deliberate.
I did too. And Shanahan, sorry to cut you off, Shash, but Shanahan came in and doubled down on it too. And it was like, hey, I think they're being a little sensitive about it. Like, let's
just let it die.
Let's just take the L and keep it moving. But you brought up Bill Walsh and Parcells. Remember the classic clip at the Meadowlands where Parcells said, hey, you better knock it off or I'll expose her ass.
Yeah. It was great because they said back in the day, if you had your headsets that didn't work, then both teams would have no headsets. And the Niners had elaborate hand signals.
Dude, New England, Spadoni.
I was saying it yesterday.
Belichick, the headsets would go out for the visiting team all the time. Talbot always, it's like, dude, the visiting headsets always go out in Foxborough.
And they're prepared for it.
Exactly.
And so like, which brings me to this. Like, Liam Cohen, didn't know much about him. I mean, obviously, you see Tampa Bay's offense, and you're like, wow, like he found Bucky Irving. And I don't know. Like, you just never know if it's the GM or the coach or the coordinator or what. When he ran, after whatever happened with the penalty, they're backed up against the end zone, and it was 2nd and 17. They do a run play. The Niners love these big third down packages to switch personnel. They go no tempo, up tempo, no huddle. Don't allow the Niners to sub, and then rip a seam pass to Travis Hunter to get the matchup that they're looking for with their rookie. I was like, that was so brilliant on so many levels. From Liam Cohen, he used pace and tempo really well throughout the entirety of the game.
No doubt. And when you watch him on film, and you're getting ready for the game, I remember Carlos Ramirez, we're doing the 49ers Now stream. I said, I think this game's going to play out like the first 3 games for the 49ers because of the respect, not only for Liam Cohen, but what about their defensive coordinator, Anthony Campanelli?
Yeah.
They already have more takeaways than they had all of 2024.
I'd never seen Lloyd play a full game. He was awesome.
Dude,
he was awesome.
Sick. He's going to get paid. And then Josh Hines Allen is reminding everybody, I'm an elite pass rusher, folks. Yeah. I can get to the quarterback and make plays in the pass game. They have a good secondary, so they got a good program going on in Jacksonville. Tip your cap to them. I think that team will be competing for a division title in the South with the Colts.
Josh Allen was same draft. I want to say Nick Bosa, his 7th overall pick, right?
You bring that up, Spadoni. I swear to God. I don't know if I should do that on radio, but
it's okay. We'll allow it. We're Catholic.
This is the same draft you were going to trade the number 2 overall pick for Antonio Brown.
Exactly. Yes. And I walked that back. I don't care.
Antonio Brown who's wanted for attempted murder.
How many times I was wrong about something? It doesn't offend me. I don't get paid for being right or wrong. I'm an entertainer, baby.
Laugh. Sample that laugh.
Just sell and just fire everybody.
Listen. Too many people are worried about being right or wrong.
I hate you.
The snort.
Too many people get worried about being right or wrong. You know what I'm saying? I can wear being wrong. A lot of people can't in this business. Anyway,
have a take.
A little birdie yesterday was talking to me about the Niners. Okay. And I respect this birdie a lot.
All right.
A lot. I think we all do. If you guys knew who it was. But he goes, Bonte, I wanted the Niners to trade down to get Josh Hines Allen. He's always available. He's a really good pass rusher. And the thing he said, he was like, I was always worried about Bosa being healthy. His brother, never healthy. His father had injuries.
They're mercenaries.
So,
they are.
So you know what? He was telling me, he's like, I always wanted them to trade down from the number 2 pick to get Josh Allen. And now look at us. Wouldn't you rather have? And it made me think. I don't know if I'd rather have him, but Bosa, we'll see how healthy he can be moving forward. And the money you're paying him.
Well,
I'm just saying.
Let me look at his stats right now because he's been pretty consistently.
When he plays for the Niners are usually a very good team.
Yeah.
I think the proof is in the pudding. I don't like if you were going to have that argument,
God,
this is the year where
a couple years ago.
What's that?
Josh Allen had 17 and a half sacks a couple years ago.
He's had some good years, but didn't he miss 7 or 8 games one year?
His second year, 2020, he played in 8.
There you
total.
go.
Yes,
So
but
he's been healthy?
That's been the only year he's been non-healthy. Every other year he's played at least 16 games.
We look back at Bosa in 2023.
Yeah.
We complained about Bosa a lot on this show. And he had moments. The second half against Detroit.
It was not a great year.
It was not a great. That's what I'm saying.
It was not a great year.
Their last Super Bowl
By
run.
his standards.
The offense kind of carried that football team. Although defense was better than
he was good in the Detroit NFC Championship game.
He was really good.
Quarter. He was really good.
I can't get the image out of my mind of him biting on that Mahomes option though on the 4th and 1 and just absolutely over pursued him and Mahomes picked that up easily. That is my last. I'm sorry, but that's my lasting image in the Super Bowl is the over pursuit of Nick Bosa on Patrick Mahomes.
That's the other thing that the birdie said. He goes, how many times people run at Bosa? And then it's stuck with me Baldy. Does he dominate backup tackles? Look, they miss Bosa right now, but Josh Allen and the birdie talking to me yesterday was like, he made me think. I was like, damn, Josh Allen's good.
I'm looking at this defense right now, and I am petrified of this Thursday night game, Ponte.
Don't be scared.
I'm scared for the Niners fans because if Mac Jones has to be the starter, I don't think that's the worst thing for them.
Who's lining up against Devontae and Puka? How are they going to?
Well, pick your poison. It's kind of what I'm getting at in this matchup.
You guys are so scared, man. It's all good.
Renardo Green's out.
Well, you're 3 and 1.
First week of October, man. It's all doom and gloom around here.
It's not the end of the world.
Sausalito Spadoni now?
Well, no.
Seaside Spadoni?
Spadoni, please.
Come on.
8 minutes ago, you're telling me to respect the opponent, and now I have a healthy fear of what the Rams do well.
Well, I know how you should ask. I love you. You love McVay now.
Well, I do.
You hated McVay.
I hate him, but I love him. It's like Pete Carroll. I hate him and I love him.
Remember they used to label me as a McVay love? I got a lot of respect for McVay.
I love McVay.
I respect them. But you know what? I'm not scared. This team, they're probably getting reamed in the locker room right now. They did turn the ball over 4 times, and they still had a damn chance to win the game on Sunday.
The Farrell fumble was huge.
Huge. The kickoff, the punt coverage and the kickoff coverage has got to be better. It's got to be better.
They got to get Garendo off there. That's one thing. No, I'm serious. Like, when the Niners stunk, they used to have these like soft wide receivers on punt and kickoff coverage. And like I look at their coverage unit right now. Here's a move that I would make that they have yet to do. I know that they brought in this Gifford guy to play special teams, and they've been using him in certain base packages.
Yep.
I would activate Nick Martin, and I would try to get Nick Martin on the field and rush one of my other linebackers.
You know what? And Nick Martin will fly down the football field.
You like that?
You got to get creative somehow.
You got to.
Yeah. That's a great point.
Yeah.
He's one of your, get your best players on the field.
Yep. Just fly down the football field and smack somebody. That's all you got to do. I like that for Nick Martin Spadoni. I do. The kickoff coverage, we saw it in Arizona. The dynamic kick where you kick it out of bounds messed you up. Green Bay, how many poor kickoff coverages did they have against the Dallas Cowboys in Sunday Night Football?
To start the game, I thought they kicked it out of bounds, and the kid caught it.
Oh, the kid caught it. Yeah, it was going to go out of bounds.
That was an out-of-bounds kick.
I know, Eddie Pinheiro. That's why, Eddie Pinheiro, a lot of people ask, I think Carlos asked me.
I think he needs to just calm down a little.
They said, did you like the dancing? Gutierrez, he was taunting the Cardinals.
I didn't get it.
I said, wait a minute, you just won 16 to 15. You're a kicker. Pipe down, bro, because you got a miss coming. You're going to miss a field goal soon.
There's a reason you're out there.
Come on, man. He's not going perfect. We know it. Let's just be a kicker showboating like that and showing up the other team. Like, Eddie De Niro's got to chill.
Well, and then you just got here. And Adam Amin, Adam Amin goes, right before the Jacksonville, they've got an all-pro long snapper, an all-pro holder who's their punter, and the kicker was all rookie last year. Boom, wide right. And I'm like, geez, I mean, really that game, and I know you like Jacksonville. I was impressed with them. Yeah. But both teams were like, I don't want to win this game. You take it. The other team was like, no, actually, We insist that you take it. And they went back and forth. That game was sitting on a platter for somebody to go and seize, and it just
the sliding out of bounds might have been the dumbest thing I've seen all year.
Well, they got bailed out.
Oh my God!
The hold call on the Etienne play, I thought was going to seal the game.
Right?
I thought Etienne had a 10-yard run that was going to kind of seal the game right then and there. And
how about Armstead making that the game-winning play?
Him.
I was thinking about him though. I was thinking it's a revenge game for Eric Armstead, and to make that play to follow that football, good for him. And it felt good. I know it felt good for him to come back home, basically. Yeah. He's from Sacramento, grew up in this region. But you're right. The Niners turned the ball over. And even they had that final drive, and I'm thinking, wow, they're going to steal this football game. They're going to steal this football game. And it didn't. The fumble happened. So did they deserve to win the game, considering what happened? No. But Jacksonville left it on a silver platter for them. But you got to take care of special teams. You got to tackle better. You just got to convert, like the basic fundamentals of football, converting third downs, not turning the ball over. They didn't do any of that well on Sunday.
I want to get into what we talked about yesterday with him, Joe, and we started using this word a little bit, and I don't know if that's the word you use to describe Brock Purdy's play right now. But we dated back to the game on Christmas against the Baltimore Ravens, where
7-interception game.
It was awful. I think it was Sam and I that filled in for both of you guys that week. We had Baldy on.
I'll never forget holding LJ getting text messages from this group thread. He should have thrown 9 interceptions in this game.
And then people got mad at me. Like I wasn't watching the game. I was at the game.
Sam Darnold nearly made it a 3-point game there late with 3 timeouts left.
Legitimately 5 interceptions in that game.
Lamar got tripped by the ref in the end zone. That was my favorite part of the game,
Lamar looked like Michael Jordan.
Dude, I've never seen Fred look like the worst athlete against someone else. He looked pedestrian against Lamar. It was crazy.
But you charted the numbers of Brock since that game. Do you have them on hand?
I have it.
Yeah, I'll let you filibuster here. Or I'll filibuster for you for a second until you get that.
It's right here.
But
so since the ball, these are regular season. So obviously there's some playoff moments in there that you can't gloss over because those are the big time games. But before that game, 17-3 the team was, 42-10. That's touchdowns to interceptions, only 6 fumbles. Okay, so you're looking at 42 touchdowns and 16 total turnovers. Okay, since this point, he has.
This is just regular season?
Yes. Since that point, that Baltimore game, 8-11 record. Okay, instead of 17-3. Instead of 42-10 touchdown to interception, it's 26-20, and he has 8 fumbles in that time. So you're looking at more turnovers. We're not including the rushing stats, so that because he has 5 rushing touchdowns last year. That's a lot of turnovers. I know teams win and lose. Like it's not just the individual player, but there is something about the turnovers.
And we used the word regress yesterday. Is that too strong of a word right now to say about Brock Bonte? But when he told me those stats, it actually was just kind of alarming. Now, a lot of that also coincided with Christian McCaffrey not being there. And that's a big talking point when we talk about the discussion around Brock. It coincides with CMC.
You need weapons in this game, right? You need weapons. Now, we'll get to the regression. I don't think he's regressed. I think he has been beat up, but we saw Mahomes with the Chiefs look pedestrian without weapons. Now they're starting to get weapons back, right? Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice is coming back, and all of a sudden Thornton's coming on, and all of a sudden the Chiefs, I'm thinking, oh, man, they're going to represent the AFC again.
Right.
All of a sudden they're 2-2 and back in business. I wasn't
throwing dirt on them.
No, I wasn't. It was
better.
way too early. Way too early. They should have beat the Eagles for crying out loud. Kelsey drops a pass in the end zone, and the Eagles go down and run out the clock.
I still can't believe he dropped that ball.
So the Chiefs could be sitting at 3-1, and we're talking about them representing the AFC again. Yeah, some of it has to do with McCaffrey being out. Some of it has to do with Brandon Ayuk. I think this whole situation with Brandon Ayuk.
It sucks.
We underrated the rapport Brock Purdy had with Brandon Ayuk.
Yeah.
He was quietly his most trusted, reliable source in the passing game. And we underrated it because of Ayuk and the contract and the money. We said, oh, he could just move on. We don't need Brandon Ayuk. But damn, it'd be nice to have Brandon Ayuk right now, wouldn't it be?
Not only do you miss the player, he's also making a lot of money, which you accounted for by saying goodbye to other players.
So
it's a double whammy.
So Ayuk's hurt last year. McCaffrey's hurt last year. Kittle missed some games. Devo missed some games.
Trent missed 7.
Trent missed a lot of games. So, look, is Brock Purdy doing too much? he has to take responsibility for the turnovers. Yeah. He's doing too much. I remember the Detroit Monday night game when they were driving, and the safety just baited him in the middle of the field, and Brock throws an interception after having a really good game. So the turnovers have got to get cut down. Is some of that a byproduct of guys getting hurt? Absolutely. Offensive line being beat up? Absolutely. But some of it is on Brock, too,
what about
to
the
where
body?
you got to take care of the ball. Well,
see, because this is a separate conversation. Like, part of the Jimmy thing wasn't just the turnovers. It was, gosh, when he plays, they're pretty good. They win. He's a good player. He's not the best, but he's freaking good. You're going to struggle to find someone better than him in the league. But the body kept depreciating year after year, and then physically, he wasn't the same player. You go back and you watch the highlights from that NFC Championship game. He's running around on Detroit. His legs were the big separator. He made great throws, but the legs. And now, like, when you see him compromised and the injuries are mounting up, I know it's early in the season, and I just worry about, as the year goes on, how's he going to get healthier playing week after week? I don't know, man. The body, I'm starting to have question marks.
And that loss, that's why it's so frustrating because, Bonte, I'll let you finish here. That's why I wanted Mac to start this game. I really wanted as much rest as I could for Brock leading up to a short... We all knew it was going to be a short week and a short turnaround. And how are we feeling after that loss and him already complaining about his toe soreness after it? Short week, going down on an artificial surface and so
we don't even know if Mac was healthy enough to play.
But this is where
that's
no. I don't even care.
Last week?
Don't even care. I don't care. You protect an investment at this point, Vontae.
Come on.
If they're both going to be
this
limited...
This isn't Pop Warner football, dude.
What are you
this is the
talking
pros.
about?
What are you talking about?
$200
Mac couldn't run last week.
invested in this guy.
Mac, well, right now he's making $9 million or whatever it is, Brock Purdy. Right now his cap hit is $9 million. He's got an $8 million signing bonus. So really he's a $9 million quarterback for this year. For this year, he's a $9 million quarterback.
Yeah, but you've been budgeting for years.
Yeah, no doubt. But he's a $9 million quarterback. Those are the numbers. He's getting paid $9 million.
$90 million dead cap.
Right. So, no, I know. He's got
You've
the guaranteed
invested
money.
in him.
But Mac Jones couldn't move after the Arizona game.
That's the part
The
I don't know.
PCL injury was there, so you're going to throw out a guy on one leg?
Participant yesterday. I don't buy that.
We're talking about the Jacksonville games, Spadoni, last week.
No.
Last week.
Yesterday, he would have been a full participant in practice.
Last week. They don't practice on Mondays in the first place.
Yeah, but if they were to,
last week,
he would have been a full participant.
Mac Jones could not move. He could not move last week.
Prior. I get that.
He could not move.
Clearly didn't trust his feet enough, and he didn't move enough in this game.
But what we're talking about here is Mac Jones. How many practices did Mike Jones have last week? Producers. What was he a limited participant?
Yeah.
He was very limited with the PCL injury.
I didn't even know if he suited up on Sunday.
He did. I saw pictures.
I know, but I texted everyone. I was like, guys, I don't see him on any of the active
He was limited
lists.
all week. Limited all week with the PCL injury. So you're going to throw out a guy because, all right, Brock Purdy says he's 80% last week, 75%. We can't put a percentage on it. But what if Mac's 50%? You're still going to throw him out there?
I would have felt better getting blown out with my backup and Mac Jones than losing a close game with my starter who's now coming away.
So I disagree on that opinion. No, that's
not even
that's
close.
Fair. That's your opinion. But I got frustrated. This is why I think the Carter Bradley thing was kind of a joke in the preseason.
It was a joke.
Because, of any of the organizations that rolls through quarterbacks on a yearly basis, this one should take the third quarterback spot more serious. I thought the Carter Bradley thing, honestly, was a giant waste of time. And it bit him. If that's the case, what you just played out, would you agree with me? If Brock was hypothetically at 75 and Mac was at 50 and they were too afraid to play the third string quarterback, for the remainder of Shanahan's tenure here, they should never waste that third quarterback spot ever again. And I know that sounds insane, but guys, listen to what we were having the conversation about. The guy you've invested $150 million in, if he goes back on the IR, I will go back to the third quarterback and say you made a giant mistake wasting everyone's time.
Well, first of all, how much money you got to invest in a third quarterback? Teams don't want to invest a lot into the third quarterback.
I get it.
But going to training, I told you.
You said it.
Carter Bradley, I was like, what? I was sitting there watching practice. I was just dropping my head. I was like, we got to stop this. This is not good. I know he's Gus Bradley's son.
But that's not.
It was just not. It was just
this
not.
Is the NFL.
He's not. I don't even know if he could play in the CFL. And then you had Tanner Mordecai, who I never thought was good coming out of Wisconsin. I didn't think he was good at Wisconsin, and I definitely didn't think he was good with the 49ers.
And they drafted a guy with a torn ACL.
Right. Dude from Indiana.
Rourke.
Zach Green's boy. So, I want to bet. So, Spadoni, you're not going to go in there saying, okay, Mac Jones at 50%, who limped around all week. That's what the reports were. I was talking to Mayoko, but he's limping around all week. And if Purdy was ready, Purdy almost played the Arizona game. That's why the 2 to 5 week report by Ian Rappaport.
Thank God he did.
Mayoko said it right away. That's a little overblown. Purdy was close to playing the Arizona game.
So let me ask you this then.
So Mac, you can't throw Mac out there against that defense just because you're trying to protect an asset. That's unfair to Mac Jones.
Do you feel
You also have Mac Jones for 2 years. You can't do that and try to. What if Mac Jones goes out there and tears his whole knee up? Now his career's over.
Well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
That's
you
not
need
fair.
a backup quarterback.
Exactly.
It wasn't that serious if he was a full part. He would have been a full participant
Well, they're
yesterday.
saying that. That's a hypothetical.
Yeah, it's hypothetical.
I don't know.
Not only that, they're saying that Purdy and Pearsall's questionable this week.
Let me ask you.
Nobody believes they're playing. So I'm talking about leading into Jacksonville. What are you saying? They're questionable.
Yeah.
I don't know. He's going to try to gut it out.
I'm doubtful.
Yeah, I'm very doubtful he plays.
So let me ask you guys this one, okay? Forget the words quarterback controversy. Just remove that. I'm talking about the injury because we all we know Purdy's the guy. When Mac wins this week, and Purdy's just kind of up in the air in terms of the health, and then what? What do we do? What do the Niners do?
They play Brock Purdy if he's ready to roll. Brock Purdy's your guy.
Regardless.
Brock Purdy's your guy.
Injured Brock Purdy gives him a better chance to win than Mac Jones.
I'm just asking out loud, guys.
Mac Jones, we got to see how Mac Jones moves. I'm very eager to see. The last time I saw Mac Jones, he was limping around.
I know.
He couldn't even. He was remember Peyton Manning last year?
He did leave a game-winning drive.
Peyton Manning, they scored 16 points. I get it. He led the game-winning drive. It was great.
I know it wasn't great.
Fourth quarter was almost bad with the safety and the interception and all that stuff. But Mac Jones, he gets credit for helping them win. But I give a lot of credit to the defense for keeping them in the game.
That was a hell of a drive.
It was a hell of a drive. But the quarterbacks don't win games by themselves. Shanahan has some great play designs too in that drive. The screen pass to Christian McCaffrey.
That was amazing.
It was great. But Mac Jones also looked like Peyton Manning trying to hand the football off to Christian McCaffrey. Remember Peyton Manning his last year with Denver? They had to line up at shotgun because he couldn't move. That's Mac Jones. You line up Mac Jones under center, can he even move? You try to run the zone read with a messed up knee, a PCL, and you're limping around. Now Mac Jones is spinning the ball well, and I like the fact that people have warmed up to Mac Jones because we're now seeing that he's not as bad as what everybody thought he was. The guy's a capable quarterback.
I've always liked Mac. Yeah.
He's a capable quarterback.
So, but what do you do with Brock's foot? I just to me the toe,
which is on the foot.
But clearly the toe needs time. And to me, if he looks like he did on Sunday in terms of mobility, I don't love that, and I don't think that's something he can play with all year and expect him to be, a good player.
Well, we know Shanahan, right? Christian McCaffrey had a calf injury going into the Seattle game. We didn't know if he was going to play. I know. Then he had 31 touches. So if Purdy tells Shanahan, I'm ready to roll, they're going to shoot that bad boy up, and Purdy's going to play. Whether the toe's healthy or not.
Is he going to play
Purdy's
well?
going to play.
Is he going to play well?
Well, you hope so.
Yeah.
He better.
He better.
He can't play like he did the other day.
No, he can't. By the way, Sports Talk at 95 in the game is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much these days, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today, Joe.
Again, these are all just hypotheticals. I just think that when you invest as much as you have in the quarterback, I wonder, right now, there's a hamstring injury for Lamar Jackson, right? Baltimore's going to be very cautious with the Lamar Jackson injury, right? A hamstring injury for him changes fundamentally how he plays football. And a toe injury for Purdy does change fundamentally how he plays football. We know, when he's healthy, he's way better than Mac Jones, right? Mac is capable, right? I'm just worried that they're going to rush him back out there because I know he wants to play because that's the gritty competitor in him. He's going to want to do that. In this situation, a couple of weeks, taking some time off to maybe get more right. Not that you will be 100%. I don't know if that's going to happen this year. It's something you got to think about.
That's up to the doctors. And then what we're not talking about.
Well, it's actually up to Kyle Shanahan.
Well, Shanahan has the final say.
It's player and doctor.
Yeah, but who has the final say? Hold on. Who has the final say whether he plays or not?
No, the doctors.
The player has some say.
Kyle Shanahan's the head coach. He calls the shots.
Shanahan
he can protect him from himself and say, you know what, Brock?
Come on. He's a head coach. Football coaches are going to play their guys.
Is Brock not an investment at this point? $200+ million. You want to protect him?
Well, Nick Bosa, hold up. Nick Bosa, the doctors told Nick Bosa, hey, you're good. You don't have an ACL injury. And he was like, no, I'm not good. I think I tore my ACL. And they went with what Nick Bosa said. I think they're going to lean on the player ultimately. I do.
Jawan Jennings is beat up. You think he's at 100%?
Not even close. Shoulder, ankle, and now ribs.
What happened? Doctors say, hey, he's ready to go. And then what they do is what the player asks is, can I injure it more? Can I make it worse? And if the doctor says, no, you can't make it worse, they'll tell the coach, hey, he can't make this worse. Coach will say, hey, Brock, do you feel good? All right, we'll do what we need to do to get you going. This is pro football. Guys play hurt all the time. You know how many times Joe Montana is one of, in my opinion, the greatest quarterback ever. How many times was he 100%?
I mean, he missed multiple seasons, elbow, almost the whole season.
This is what these guys do, Spadoti. It's pro football.
Went to the hospital after a playoff.
It's pro football.
I guess
man.
I'm the only one that cares about Brock's foot, so that's okay. I'll die on that
It's
hill.
the toe,
I'm the only
not
one
the
that cares.
foot. It's the toe.
Where is the toe located,
It's the
Bonte?
toe. It's a toe injury on the foot.
Where's it located?
It's his toe. It's turf toe.
Hey, is it toe on your hand or is it on your foot?
You guys keep saying a foot injury like
Just
a foot
answer the
sprain.
question.
It's a toe.
Where's the toe? Where is
it's
it?
a toe, Spadoni.
Where's it on?
Accuracy matters. What we told all the kids at NorCal Media Day.
Where's the toe located, Bonte? Where's it?
Just being loose with it.
Well,
No.
no.
Listen.
It's a toe is literally a part of the foot because there's a tendon.
It's turf toe.
Yes,
they said turf toe.
That means there's a slight tear on the ligament, which is on the foot, which is why he can't run in the first place, dude.
All right.
God, are we
It's
like
turf,
seriously?
whatever. All right. If it was a foot, he wouldn't be playing.
When
if his foot was messed up, he would have been in the butt.
When Baldy and Lowe tell us that he's not going to be able to practice normally the rest of the season, that's a problem. That's literally what they told us with the turf toe. He's not going to be able to practice normally the rest of the season because of this.
It just sucks.
And this guy's whole game is predicated on mobility, and now he's going to have to stand in the pocket and be small and get his balls batted down, and it's going to be a problem. And I think I would have rather had Mac Jones start last week. Right. He gets destroyed, and I feel better about Brock heading into this Thursday.
Look, B, you know how this works, though.
Oh, do you feel great about Brock heading into this week?
Man. So you can't say on one end that his toe's not going to get better and he can't practice normally, but then let's throw Mac out there to the Wolves, let him get destroyed and get his brains beat in. But you know what? It doesn't matter because he's only making $4 million or $3 million, and let's bring back Brock Purdy with turf toe on turf in SoFi Stadium against a division rival that has a better defensive line in Jacksonville. That's not going to. He's not going to be healthy the rest of the year with turf toe. It is what it is.
Let's get off that.
So what do you do?
Let's get off that for a second. I want to ask you guys this. B, you've taken a lot of calls here. Spoonie, you've taken a lot of calls here. If Matt Jones wins on Thursday, no Pearsall, maybe there's no Jennings, there are going to be a lot of fans opining for Mac Jones.
They already are.
Be one of the best wins
after the Saints win. What are you talking about?
Would be one of the best wins in the history of the regular season under Kyle Shanahan. If they win this week with Mac Jones.
Say that again?
It'd be one of the best wins in the history of the regular season.
Not week 17 up in Seattle beating them.
Okay, this is where there's nuance in conversation. What did I say? One of the best wins in the history of Kyle Shanahan's tenure in the regular season, it would have been.
With no Bosa, no Kittle, no Jennings, no Pearsall, and a backup quarterback. You know what?
They have no business winning this game.
It would be in the argument for one of his best games. I would agree with you.
It's
in
not
the regular
close.
season.
Yes.
I get where he's going with
He
that.
doesn't believe that. He can't even say it with a straight
Why are you
face.
talking? What are you talking about? I don't believe that.
He believes in Mac.
Absolutely
He really does
believes
believe
it.
in Mac.
No, I'm saying being one of the best regular season
Why is
wins
that? Why do you
for
think
Kyle
that's ridiculous?
Shanahan.
Please answer why you think that's ridiculous. You just laid it out. You're missing. How many Hall of Fame players would you be missing?
Come on, man. They've had some great regular season wins. Do you not remember?
And this wouldn't be one of them?
The situation, this would be a great win.
48-46 in the Superdome.
So this game doesn't matter.
Against the Saints?
That's fine. This game doesn't matter.
Who's saying that? The game does matter.
You are.
What are you talking about? The game doesn't matter. Of course the game matters. Nobody's saying that.
So you wouldn't be impressed?
Of course I would be impressed if they won, but to say it's one of the more remarkable regular season wins of Kyle Shanahan's career with the 49ers?
No Ayuk, no Bosa, no Kittle,
What about his
no
first
Purdy?
year when they beat the Jacksonville Jaguars and went to the AFC Championship with Jimmy Garoppolo, and he was throwing to God knows who? First year.
You can put that in there if you want. I'm saying this would be one of them. It's okay to agree with me sometimes, Bonte. Jesus.
I just don't.
It's okay to say it would be one of the best.
Okay, you want me to agree with you? Okay, it's
hyperbolic.
one of the best wins.
Jesus
one of the best
Christ.
Hey, if they pull this one out on Thursday, and
thank you.
If they pull this one out Thursday, but like they've got $100 million in dead cap. Okay, $100 million in dead cap this year. $100 million. It's kind of crazy. You do this without Bosa, Kittle, Ayuk, Purdy, Jennings, Pearsall. I mean, come on. That is a lot of money.
That's whatever. You're listening to 95 The Game, KGMZ FM and HD1 San Francisco, and Odyssey Sports Station in the home of the Golden State Warriors and Valkyries.
That would be pretty crazy.
Always live in the free Odyssey app, coming to you live from the Laugh Among Studios.
In LA?
Brought to you by Fremont Bank.
It's a 49er home game. Let's relax. It's a 49er home game on Thursday. Ram fans don't show up.
They lost that one last year.
Well, they only won one game in division.
They did. They've already surpassed that, though. That's
Still
good.
a home game. I'm just saying.
I want to bring up something that I saw yesterday on your timeline. And it's your Instagram timeline.
Oh.
Brandon Pajemski is not 6'4". You're 6'4". How tall is Brandon Pajemski?
6'4".
He looked,
as you say with a smile,
multiple
on your
inches
face.
shorter than you.
My dress shoes are a little thick.
No,
Okay.
that is cap.
You have lips in there.
Got little lips.
It's the hair from Paz. The hair takes him a couple inches higher.
You guys, hold on. Before we get to, we got next segment to get to Media Day, because I do want to get to Media Day.
What's up?
And, you know, a lot of the conversation about the Warriors.
Oh, boy.
You know, I was thinking about this driving home yesterday. The rhetoric around the Warriors.
Damn, those checks from Lake have hit hard.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't get paid I get paid by the Peacock. There's a Peacock on my check. Not a Warriors logo. Not a Warriors logo. I would love to get a Warriors logo check. Trust me. Those checks hit hard. I'm saying that from experience. Listen, we talk about the Warriors like they made the playoffs once in 9 years.
What do you mean?
What I mean is the dialogue around the Warriors is like doom and gloom. They've been the most consistent franchise in this market since 2014. Hasn't been close.
Well, yeah, they got one of the greatest players
we
ever.
don't talk about them
What
like
do you mean
that.
we don't talk about them?
The dialogue about the Warriors, I mean, the Giants are the team that's made the playoffs once in 9 years. They've made the playoffs once in 9 years. Not the Warriors. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but no one cares about the Giants as much as the Warriors.
No, that's crap. So when the Giants are good, this town is hot.
No,
People
agree.
love their Giants out
But
here.
what are you're saying that we disrespect them?
I was just thinking about it yesterday. I was like, man, we're getting ready for another season. And I don't know if they're going to win a championship or not. I don't know what the roster's going to look like. But the dialogue of what I've been hearing from multiple stations, from the national media, from what I see on Twitter, I was like, damn, did the Warriors miss the playoffs? Like,
well, no, they've been
5 straight
dealing
years?
with this one contract situation that feels like it's held up 6 other guys joining the team.
Right. Yeah, I get it. But it's, trust me, I was at Media Day yesterday.
And the agent of that guy has gone on every podcast imaginable.
It's unbelievable.
Do you get where I'm going?
No, I get where you're going. But you get what I'm saying, though? It's like kind of the dialogue's like, wait a minute, they've won 4 championships, had parades. The Giants are up here. They had one
the
full
more
year.
you win, the more we care, the more we scrutinize.
Well, there's expectations attached.
Exactly.
The expectations for the Giants just haven't been what they've been for the Warriors.
Must be nice for the Giants to know that nobody cares.
Well,
which I don't believe.
I don't think
I
they
don't
want
believe that.
I think they would love those expectations and love for our scrutiny to be on them, but it's just they don't have Steph Curry, Bonte. They don't.
They don't.
Steph is that guy.
I mean, how many media days for how many different teams have you done? And Nick Friedell's like, I don't think I've ever seen a GM and a head coach not be there for media day.
They were not there.
And the 7 other guys we think are on the team.
Steve Kerr was there early because he did an interview with Gareth Burke, and he was out.
Oh.
And he was, I guess, in the office or whatnot. So I didn't know he was not going to speak at the presser.
Actually pretty crazy.
You guys love Mac Jones. That's what I'm getting at this for. You guys want a quarterback controversy bad around here.
From the maker of Nick Mullins.
No, I didn't.
No.
What I did, Spadoni, Nick Mullins, this is what I did.
What'd you do?
Because I knew what it did.
What'd you do?
I said, I know how you guys operate as fans here. I know how this goes. If Nick Mullins lights up what were the New York Giants that year, like 3-13 or whatever it was? Yeah. I said, if Nick Mullins lights up the Giants, you guys, there's going to be a controversy amongst the fans.
Odell Beckham was so good that game.
I remember I tweeted it out, and everyone said, oh, you're crazy. Nick Mullins lit up the Giants, and then he won another game, and I got Shasky. He took the bait.
Remember?
Bonte, if Nick Mullins wins this game, he's got to start the rest of the year. And then the money got flushed down the toilet when he threw that egregious pick against the Philadelphia Eagles on Sunday. So I already know what time it is. I already know what time it is with Mac Jones. I know what it is. I know what you're alluding to. I know what it is. But you really want to throw Mac out there in Jacksonville with one knee?
Oh, that I don't.
We don't know how healthy that knee was. That's purely speculation on your part. That's okay. By the way, what's coming up the game?
We've been speculating on Brock Purdy's toe.
You know what he'll say the minute
hour.
the mics go off? He's going to go, the businessman in Bonte Hill is really rooting for this, and this to happen, which is chaos.
No, losses are sometimes good for business. And I always tell people my best work comes in losses because a lot of you guys get emotional, and I could just tell it like it is.
Like LeVar Ball said, even when you lose, I win. Brought to you by Moderna.
I'm shocked you're talking to me. Really? Really?
Hey, listen. I missed the kick field goals, a little field goal kicking thing that I did with Lord Britt. I missed all the kicks, but guess what? In the end, I win.
Did you play
'Cause people
soccer
gotta
growing up?
No, I
The
did not
life
play
of the
soccer.
king.
The life of the king.
Even when
The king never
people
misses.
don't get that. Even when I lose, I win. People are laughing, having fun with
Settle
it.
down.
Come on now.
Sam had to make an appearance.
I do
You
want
guys
to
don't let Sam talk no more. That's why.
9 o'clock hours all Sam.
I do want to get your
Wow.
opinion on the other side, Bonte. Obviously, you did a lot of Giants games this year on Bob Melvin getting fired. We'll get into the other side. You were at Media Day yesterday. We'll hear what Steph had to say about JK, Draymond, Jimmy, all of that. Bonte Hill in studio for the rest of the show. One more segment brought to you by Moderna.
Mnexspike, COVID-19 vaccine mRNA by Moderna, is now available and easy to find near you. To learn more, visit mnexspike.com. That's mnexspike.com.
Save on organic best of season produce at Whole Foods Market. Get organic Honeycrisp apples for $3.49 per pound with Prime through September 30th. Try them in a fall apple tart or spiced morning oats. While supplies last, shop in-store or online. Terms apply.
When you own your own business, you need to keep things moving. Need to book a last-minute flight? Earn a $300 travel credit to cover that. Need to take a meeting before takeoff? Do it from the comfort of the Chase Sapphire Lounge by the club. Need to catch your breath before you board? Done. With $2,500 in annual value, the new Chase Sapphire Reserve for Business is the card that gives back all you put in. Visit chase.com/reserve business to learn more. Cards issued by JPMorgan Chase Bank, N.A. member FDIC, subject to credit approval. Terms apply.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Hey, it's Mark Willard from 95.7 The Game. Look, when life hits you hard, and it happens, could be an accident, an injury, you need to hit back harder. You need a fierce team that knows the insurance game and refuses to back down. That's why I trust Omar Habas and the entire Habas Law team. For over 40 years, Habas Law has gone head-to-head with insurance companies, winning medical care, financial support, and real justice, and Habas doesn't get paid unless you do. Visit habaslaw.com. Habas Law, they'll fight to make it right.
Hi, I'm Dustin, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As director of diamond sourcing, it's my job to make sure every single diamond is worthy of a Shane Company engagement ring. Our team travels the world to see diamonds in person and handpick each one. That type of dedication only comes from working for a company that's been a family business since 1929. No matter your budget, your diamond is guaranteed to be the most beautiful because a friend wants you to pick from only the best. Drop by your store or shaneco.com and see for yourself. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Celebrating 40 years with extraordinary rewards. Since our humble beginnings, we've believed in setting the standard for luxury, entertainment, and hospitality. This year, we invite you to be part of a defining moment in our story. Join us as we celebrate 4 decades of excellence and experience the unparalleled luxury that has made us a legend. Indulge in the extraordinary. Be part of our legacy. Cash in at Cache Creek Casino Resort.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your
Did you
you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This sandwich, it's a complete game changer. Hello, this is Mike, and a little thing I love about the Chick-fil-A Pretzel Cheddar Club is that juicy chicken with that toasty pretzel bun. That bun, it's crispy, cozy, just amazing. With the pretzel bun, the Dijon mustard, and the chicken, it makes that sweet, savory kind of combination. It's everything that you love about food rolled into one. It looks phenomenal. It tastes great. It's delicious.
Order the Pretzel Cheddar Club with Cherry Berry and Sprite for a limited time on the Chick-fil-A app. Real guests paid for their testimonial.
What's up, Nicholas?
Dab Nation, this is Jonathan Kuminga. You're listening to the Morning Roast with Joe Spadoni and Joe Shiesky on 95.7 The Game.
JK! What's up, brother? Good to hear your voice. I missed you.
Can I lay this out on JK?
Bonte Hill in studio, by the way.
Hell no.
B. No matter where you fall down on frustration over the Jonathan Kuminga contract situation, whether it's the Warriors, Jonathan Kuminga, somewhere in between, no matter where you fall down, we've reached the point where there's only 4 options on the table. The first one, the supposed 2-year, $45 million deal that includes a team option. The second one, a 3-year, $75 million deal that includes a team option. The third one, a 3-year, $54 million no team option deal. Or you bet on yourself and you accept the qualifying offer. And I guess where I fall down is if you want to go bet on yourself, that is your prerogative. More power to you. Just pick one of these options. Let's go.
That's where I'm at now.
Let's go.
Well, just looking at the guys, and they were in great spirits. Steph, GP2,